Okay, y'all, give me a sec. I need to change the stream settings. To reacting to ice. Let's make sure to spell shit right. Debate. Okay, testing. Un u e and esting one u e. Here's actually another thing I'm gonna do. Quick is actually just take that and hopefully yes. I wonder if I made that big screen, would I be in that still? Yes, I would. Oh, now it's blank though because I'm on this thing.
We'll just do it this way, moving forward. So, but yeah, thank you guys once again for joining. I did put this together.
Okay, so this is a debate about do we have people in here actually? I legitimately need to make sure people are actually in. I really love how I just won't show the debate when it's like that. That's great. Anyways, we're gonna be reacting to a debate today. The debate is going to be on, or it's not going to be on, but the debate is on ICE, ICE and amnesty, if I'm correct. I think the two debate prompts, and they'll say it here, basically, should we abolish ICE, which I'm agree with that point. I think yes, at least for this debate. And is mass amnesty a good solution to immigration? I would say the answer is yes. I know the guy Reynold and Dylan Burns. He's a decently popular content creator. Admiral Gribbs is a fucking retard. He doesn't know anything, okay? that is my non-hot opinion on him, okay? It's not a hot take. He just really is not smart. So let's get into it.
For the most part, but Mace will be hosting and moderating. So thank you very much for joining. Wouldn't be possible without you guys here. And I just really appreciate having you all here. So we're gonna have a fun time. We're gonna yell a lot maybe, but well, it'll be fun.
Past here, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be a very calm, respectful, polite discussion. I think I'm gonna bet you $100 that it's not. I think I'm gonna refuse to take that bet. Okay, fair enough.
Poly market bet where you bet on somebody streaking during the Super Bowl and you're the one that's doing the streaking.
Yeah, I heard about that shit.
I'll put $1,000 on it. It'll be toxic. Okay, I think I'll make a lot of money.
Pretty much.
We shall see.
Halfway through,
the toxicity is not gonna be fun for me for sure.
That's funny, dude.
I'm never toxic, famously.
We'll see.
So nobody's ever had any problems with me ever.
I'm not too sure how sarcastic you're being there, but we'll see. This is my first time meeting you.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay.
No, I'm joking around, of course. Like, I think if you don't have a crew.
The one thing I know is, as such, and we're gonna have a really, really fun time. Okay.
To be honest with you, first of all, I don't know who the fuck CCTV is. Second of all, he ain't no main boss of fucking Bupkis. Let me tell you that. You know who's the main boss? My left nut. That's who's gonna be the main boss here. If you're gonna tell me that shit, get out of here with this guy. Wow.
Well,
Okay, man.
I don't know if you're representing. I don't know if you're representing the conservative PV, brother. Right? So, okay.
Better jokes here.
We're gonna begin. It never works out.
Fair enough.
So streaming as well.
Audience, right? There's always gonna be.
Yeah.
These people are making. Yeah.
Yes, the raffle prize winner. They get a one-man audience to the show.
I figured out how to game. We
Okay, here's a good.
Yeah.
What's talking about? You
the world, not just America. The world.
Okay, we're gonna start the debate.
We're toting fat people as our
Woman. But I'm saying, if I could hit the transformer out from my house.
Look who's here.
Hello. How is everybody?
Have you brought that particular problem to ICE's attention?
Doing good. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, Miss. Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Good.
Oh my god, they're running to the bat. Please, when's the debate start?
Jake Lang come to town and all sorts of stuff. Spoke with local police officers, interviewed them and such. So,
Candy, because I'm the golden god of conservatism, and I'm here to tell you why I.
Channel. I guess there was some issues with the side chat and like the people at the bottom and not being able to like full screen just us on the video feed. So I mentioned in the announcement that we were doing a call-in section, but if that's something that you do have your heart set on, you still want to do it, we can try to figure it out. But I'm also fine with just cutting it out, especially since we're getting started a little later than we meant to. So
yeah, we can just cut it out. We can just cut it out.
Okay, sounds good.
I feel like it'd be better to focus on the panel as a whole anyway. So
All right, Chad, I was muted for the whole thing. I was just explaining what happened. Don't worry about it.
Well, now I can see myself. Good.
Yippee. We are now live on Platinum Politics. So I guess, are we ready to get this started?
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
Yep.
All right. So hello and welcome everybody to...
Oh shit, I forgot to press the record button. Based. Good save.
Platinum Brawl. If you do not know what this is very similar to a previous series we have on the channel called Platinum Panel. This might take its spot, it might not, but that's besides the point today. Today we have a panel of a bunch of very awesome content creators who have opinions on
this guy.
And let's see how this debate goes. So the first prompt is, since Trump's presidency, the funding of immigration and customs...
Wait, real quick. We were supposed to do introductions for everybody first.
Oh, okay, yeah. We'll start with Admiral Gibbs, since he's first one on on my screen. So Admiral Gibbs, introduce yourself.
First of all, before we start using the intros, if you see me do this or you see me do this bullshit, just ignore it. I'm not trying to get your attention. My camera has an AI that hates me, and I don't know. I'm Admiral Gibbs. Someone said they're the final boss of conservatism. They can be, because I'm the golden god of conservatism, and I'm here to tell you why ICE is necessary, especially whenever we had 20 to 22% of arrests every year.
Gibbs, you're plugging in channels right now. Just right? Is that
we're plugging channels? Oh well,
yeah, plugging channels.
Well, so good. I'm going to get to that. Just trust me. So we're going to be talking about that as a base Texan, and I'm excited. 5 viewers, Admiral Gibbs. Woo!
There you go.
Awesome. Next up, we'll go ahead and give Alec, if you want to go ahead and go, so we can just go down the rows.
Okay, just testing my audio.
Sure, sounds good. My name's Alec Gunter. I put this little panel together for the most part, but I told Mace to pretend like he did it. So he's going to be hosting and moderating tonight. He's a very good moderator. He's good at what he does. So thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Like I said earlier, this panel wouldn't be possible without all of you. So thanks. I'm Alec Gunter on YouTube and Twitch. I also have my own website, alecgunter.com. I go live Tuesdays and typically Fridays. It varies, I don't have a set schedule.
Testing one more time.
But I'm a left-leaning politics influencer, a debater, I guess. I've been doing more debates lately. Going to be trying to
that's a little better.
A lot more after this. So hopefully we have a fun
It's really peaking though on the YouTube.
Awesome. Next, Dylan Burns, if you'd like to introduce your channel and everything.
Sure, my name is Dylan Burns. I mostly film war documentaries on the front line in Ukraine, but I also just filmed a documentary in Minneapolis where I filmed ICE activity, spoke to locals, filmed Jake Lang come to town and all sorts of stuff, spoke to local police officers, interviewed them and such. So this should be an interesting panel.
Yeah. All right, Jake Var, if you'd like to
happy to be here, man. I'm Jake Var. I'm the host of Project VOPod.
I have no idea who the Jake guy is. I know Dylan. Dylan's a really good... everybody should go over... I forgot what his channel name is. I'm actually watching it. Wait, give me a sec. We can figure it out. Dylan Burns Live. Go subscribe to him. Great content creator.
YouTube and Rumble.
Really good
political
on
content, obviously,
policy.
right-wing perspective. I am familiar with Gibbs, with Rinyal, and
Glory to
Burns.
Allah. What's up,
you
y'all?
guys I am unfamiliar with, so really happy to meet everybody here on the panel and looking forward to getting into it.
Awesome. All right, next up, Jebtan.
Yeah, I'm Jebtan. I don't really have any stream or shows I host. I just talk shit on Discord and Twitter at JebtanRIP. But yeah, small government conservative, generally considered anti-Trump. I voted for him in the past, but didn't in the last election. But still on the Republican side of things, just not MAGA.
All right, Kazim, is that how you say it correctly?
Nailed it. I am a leftist AI developer by trade. I don't really stream, don't really do anything like that.
A curd is a curd.
My goal here is just to debate, so that's why I'm here.
All righty, Rinyal.
Yeah, I'm Rinyald. I stream on YouTube and TikTok.
Let's go. The GOAT!
At RINYALD.
Rinny.
All right, and Wolf, aka I forgot your channel name. It was something veteran.
Hold on 1 second, CTV. Let me say that correctly for you. That's the critically thinking veteran, the last hippy-dippy goddamn champion. Sorry.
Trump likes to do the crank. Make your dance to YMCA. What is...
I live here in the great state of Florida.
What the fuck is that?
State of Florida. I run my own business now. Thinking about getting back into Twitch and streaming. As soon as I can figure out a way to make it work for me instead of me working for it. Already been getting involved in making videos on TikTok and on X. So if you'd like to get together, you can find me on X at Polk County Lobo. Main name critically thinking veteran. I am a Make America Great.
Dylan and Alan early. So I'm ready for this debate. So I guess now I can go and
just
say the first
skip there. I'm not going to watch
since
through all
Trump's
the
presidency, the funding for immigration and custom enforcement has increased by several magnitudes. ICE presence has caused a lot of controversy with many defending their activities and others scrutinizing it heavily. There have been calls to abolish ICE completely as an institution. Please tell us whether or not you believe ICE should be kept or abolished.
We love it. We love it.
And I'm just going to pick a random person. Kazim, I want to hear. We'll start with Kazim. Oh,
You're muted.
Can't hear.
He's muted. You're still muted.
Still
Can't hear.
muted?
You're muted on
You're
Discord.
Oh
software
my
muted on
god,
hardware. There you go.
incompetence.
Now you're hardware
Now
muted.
you're hardware mute.
Okay, we're gonna cover up the
Am I good
mod.
now?
Good. Yes.
Yeah.
As you can tell, I don't do this for a living. The founders had a word for what ICE is. It's a standing army. Hamilton promised in Federalist 17 that the feds never want police powers. In 25, he admitted once forces are raised, pretexts just multiply. In 84, he said no Bill of Rights, and he was wrong on all 3 points. In Brutus 8, an anti-federalist paper, we see when a government has so many resources for obtaining money, how can it be restrained from oppression? The answer is it can't. That's why they demanded the Bill of Rights to bind the government, not hope it behaves. The Fourth Amendment, warrants from a judge, required for any search and seizure.
Based.
No person's deprived of liberty without due process. You have case law like Payton. You can't enter a home without a judicial warrant.
Let's
Said
go.
that aliens get due process. This is all settled law. Nothing new here. 80 or 75 billion via reconciliation. Party line. No filibuster. 11 billion base appropriations. You end up with an almost $86 billion budget for a 4-year period. That's more than 50 states worth of police spending combined. ICE is the only DHS agency that is shutdown proof. The TSA stops, FEMA stops, ICE runs through 2029 no matter what you do. This is Brutus's infinite purse made real. 400 judges, 44 of them Trump appointed, ruled 4,421 times that ICE is detaining people illegally. 96 court orders broken in Minnesota in 1 month. 600 people released in Chicago for no problem.
Let's get over the
Releases have dropped
statistics.
87%. The deportation to release ratio has gone from 1.6 to 1 to 14.3 to 1 in 11
Let's
months.
go.
Recently, career ICE attorney Ryan Schwenk resigned 2 weeks ago. He told Congress the first day at the academy, supervisors handed him a secret memo to read and return, no copies. Teach recruits to enter homes without judicial warrants. The training was cut from 584 hours to 240 hours. ICE is teaching cadets outright to violate the Constitution and cloaking it in secrecy. That's a quote from his deposition in the Senate. I build AI systems for a living. One of the ways that they're doing this is through Palantir's Immigration OS system. They paid $30 million for this piece of software that'll take your Medicaid records from over 80 million patients, your plates, your phone location, your facial recognition, any input they really want to give to it that they have access to, which they're getting more and more access through Flock and other services, and that they're just able to print off your location with a confidence score. Know your house address. Is that something that the government's supposed to do? I think not. No warrant, no judge. The Fourth Amendment says papers in effect. This searches all of them without a boot hitting the ground. Cato found, as in the Cato Institute, in 2025, was the safest year on record for ICE agents. But agents have shot 33 people, killed 9,
scooch
5
my
other
ass
citizens.
back in the frame.
DHS claims that there is a 1,300% assault spike. NPR checked, it's only 25%. They're just lying. They've lied multiple times. Congress created ICE in 2003. Abolishing the INS for less reason than we have now. $86 billion. Military weapons, secret memos, 4,400 ignored court losses. AI surveillance the founders would have shit the bed for and made the Bill of Rights to prevent. Hamilton was wrong. Brutus was right. Get rid of it.
All right.
Let's go.
That was a great opening statement, and I'll go ahead and pick out. Okay, so who is anti-ICE or pro-ICE rather? Who wants to? We'll go ahead. We'll say Jake. Jake, you can go first.
Iran conflict is going to also liberate Cuba. 92,000 jobs lost in February. I agree, bro, but not the topic. We're talking about ICE immigration, okay?
This whole idea,
Let's
like,
lock
remember,
in.
the whole ICE raids were happening under Bill Clinton, even Barack Obama. It's nothing new, okay? They were going down to Home Depots prior before Donald Trump. The difference is that they weren't as, of course, invested into so much money, as you mentioned before in the prompt. We have put more money into ICE than we have before in the past, but that's because, well, under Joe Biden, we've had...
Oh, did you guys know that Obama did deportations? They called him the deporter-in-chief. Wow. Do these people not... Oh my gosh, please. These people can't be this dumb. They know the talking points. I know he's never going to address it too. He's just going to be like, Obama did more deportation. I'm clocking this. This dude is never going to actually engage in the Fourth Amendment violations. He's literally just going to talk about the fact that Obama did like more deportations. Actually,
around 10 million encounters at the border. Probably estimated between 5 to 6, 7 million people that stayed within the interior of the United States. ICE's job is to hunt down these individuals, and they are prioritizing rapists and criminals first. And this is the, I think this is very important. According to our opponents here, that they want to abolish ICE because they, you know, the last statement that was said earlier that, well, they killed some U.S. citizens. Alex Purdy comes to mind, and so does Renee Good, who were resisting arrest. Of course, this is a totally different out of context thing. We shouldn't be abolishing ICE when we have an immigration issue within the United States interior. And this is why I say, yeah, we should definitely keep ICE on the record and not follow what the liberals want by completely abolishing or defunding ICE, just like they want to defund the police. They're pro-crime at that point, and I'm not. So I'll end it there.
All right. Next.
I know they're gonna address this. And they're like, how can you possibly declare yourself to be like liberals to be pro crime when they're literally making the arguments that ICE is violating the Constitution, which is a law. The reason they're contesting ICE as an institution in the first place is because it's breaking the law. We don't want crime to happen. That's the opposite. You guys are the ones who support crime.
We'll hear from Jebtan. You had a more moderate position on air, correct?
Yeah, I think there's a lot to criticize about ICE. I think currently, right now, ICE is functioning poorly. They're trained poorly. They're equipped poorly. I don't think the funding was a bad idea. I think where the money's going is the bad idea. It makes sense that they would have, if you're going to have, an immigration force that has to enforce your immigration policy throughout the entire country, you're probably going to need resources comparable to 50 states worth of police forces, at least temporarily. And there was a border crisis just preceding the actions that they started taking under the Trump administration. So yeah, it does make sense that they have a lot of money. I don't have a problem with that. But the fact that money doesn't go to better training is absurd. Their training is obviously awful. It's putting them in danger. It's putting other people in danger. It's causing them to detain people illegally. It's bogging up our courts with a bunch of cases against them for detaining people illegally. It's just costing so much money and so much public good faith that I totally understand why people want ICE as it exists to not exist anymore. The issue is, someone brought up abolishing the INS. INS leaves, ICE comes in, ICE now does this stuff, and now they're basically just treated as the INS again. So what did we really accomplish in terms of this public trust by abolishing the INS? When things go bad again, we're just going to abolish it again, and then it's going to come back under.
Yeah, there's a slightly good point here, and that is the Trump administration is just like gonna be bad faith and do all these things, whether like whatever agency it is. Now there is a good argument though that like ICE historically has had like a really, and the CBP honestly, have had like really bad cultures of violating the Fourth Amendment and violating the Constitution, or just not following policies. Like Obama told ICE, I think it was in like 2014 maybe, to use different detainers, which basically when they're detaining immigrants, which basically made it so if you're going to detain an immigrant, they had to have like committed a felony or above. It was to prioritize like more dangerous immigrants to go and detain and deport them. And ICE just completely refused to use those detainers. In fact, they started detaining and deporting more people who weren't felons. So, and we've seen that happen in
for a new name, or people going to like, obviously the INS also split duties, but this, we would be abolishing it, and then we would have to replace it with a body that does the exact same thing, but hopefully with a nicer name and prettier uniforms. Like, unless you're willing to bite the bullet, which it sounds like some people on here might be, that we should just not have a deportation enforcement force at all. We shouldn't have people going around and deporting people. We should probably give amnesty to immigrants, and we should maybe have a small force that just sort of keeps people, assists Customs and Border Patrol or whatever. Like, unless you're willing to bite that bullet, that there should be nothing like ICE again. There should be no federal immigration enforcement that will go and deport people who are here illegally, even those who commit crimes. I just don't see the value in abolishing ICE versus allowing it to be reformed, because it's not a fundamentally broken concept the way that the INS was. It's not a fundamentally dysfunctional body. People just have issues with how they're acting now under one president, and under the next president, it could operate completely differently.
All right. Next up, we'll get critically thinking veteran. What's your opinion on ICE?
Well, Jeff Dan, first, only 50 states worth, brothers. All 50 states don't border, foreign, right? Some of those states are inside the United States, so they only need border state money. But to get back to the point, though, right, is unless you're for open borders, there needs to be some federal institution that is enforcing immigration law. What is disingenuous is anybody that is using these statistics to try to justify any actions being taken by ICE. Whenever you've got left-wing idiots out there, creating more problems than there needs to be. We all understand that there was a lot of people that were led across the border that were not supposed to be here. It's already a huge task for the federal government to be rounding these people up. And then for those on the left that then try to use the chaos that they are causing, right, and the statistics then as a way to push their narrative is completely what I expect.
Oh yeah, guys, the left wingers contesting ICE in the streets are causing them to go and arrest immigrants without probable cause. True. Us in the streets, I saw the left wingers in the streets, and we really just needed to go and shoot Alex Petty in the head. We really just needed to go into Scott Lee Tahoe's house without a judicial warrant. We really just needed to go arrest Melina Escobar probable cause. All the left wingers in the streets really made us do that. It totally wasn't the Todd Lyons memo at all. Totally wasn't the fact that this is DHS policy. Totally wasn't the fact that this is literally a CBP and ICE policy to go and do this. No. Come on.
Right. So whenever there's some real adult conversation happening with regards to how you're going to do what is required of the federal government, it's like its primary job, which is enforcing the federal border for the states so that the states aren't doing it themselves. Right. That's its entire one of the primary duties. So I'm not an open borders guy. Anybody, like I said, doing that, it's acting like kids, and I'm ready to have an adult conversation when we're ready to get there.
All right, Rinald, you're up next.
Yeah, I think there is such an internal rot in terms of internal immigration enforcement that there needs to be widespread change to the point of unrecognition to ICE and our immigration processes. In furtherance of mass deportations, we've seen the normalization of ICE ignoring constitutional rights of detainees and potential suspects, lying about U.S. citizens they've murdered or attempted to murder, the purposeful bypassing of traditional training requirements, and a system of hitting quotas rather than actually protecting when necessary.
I often say the strongest argument against a lot of our systems is what Donald Trump is doing right now. He exposes a lot of the weak points of a lot of our institutions. We should not have a federal police force that can be weaponized against people that is driven by Stephen Miller's quota system. At the moment, until we can have a good faith executive who can actually say that he won't use a police force as a secret police force as a means of voter intimidation, or until we can have an agency that will actually respond to court orders, ICE is doing more damage than help. Whether abolition of ICE looks like transferring the HSI's current duties to CBP or reform to the point of unrecognition, something has to be done.
All right.
The middle guy is definitely the smartest. I think he has the best argument.
Admiral Gibbs,
At least
you're next.
if for Mega.
Right, yeah. So, I offered this many times before the election. I came on these panels.
Oh my God!
came
Get
in
ready
with
for
political
retard.
space,
Prepare yourself for
because immigration is an
retardation.
issue. I own a ranch. My family owns ranches near the border, and the coyotes would come and they would destroy our ranch. They'd destroy our property. They'd eat our cattle. And I came on these panels and I said, hey, this is a fucking problem. You know what I was told? Fuck you, rich landowner. Right? And now, if you know anything about ranching, you know we don't make a lot of money. Right? It's not a fuck your hand over fist thing. So I decided I'd get passionate about this and do some research. So I decided, I'm pretty pro-immigrant. I own a leather company. We've gotten over 30 Guatemalan citizenship since we've acquired, and I've gotten at least 2 people from my ranch citizenship the right way. And guess what? All of them are Republican. Why? Because they did shit the right way. Right? They think that illegal immigration is evil because it empowers the cartels and it empowers human trafficking. It's really bad, and there's multi-layers to this. I'm sure we'll get into this. If I live in San Antonio now, I live in Corpus. The cartel runs the city. They own half the city, and I'm not talking about just the drugs and shit. They're doing the legitimate businesses. They own this shit. It's a problem. There's a reason why 20 to 22% of arrests.
Really? Well, Admiral Grib, I would ask you, and anybody can go look this up. If the cartels run the city and immigration enforcement and deporting illegals actually fixes that issue, then why have we consistently seeing more drugs get seized at the border during Trump's administration? Right? If we're saying that increased drug seizures is an indication that more drugs are coming into the country, how come it is a fact of the matter? This, you can go up, anybody can look up on CBP's website. There's been more drug seizures. That's an indication of more cartel activity. Just saying.
Are happening in Texas while 2% are happening in Minneapolis, and there's no riots here because we have actual issues. This is a real problem. And when I came on these panels, I offered, hey, if you give me the most secure northern border, most secure southern border, I will even grant amnesty for everybody that gets here between now and a year. They get amnesty. And you know what? Not a single lefty would take it, right? Not a single one. And then when Trump offered something after Abbott shut down the border, not fucking Biden, Abbott shut down the border. Trump, they offered, hey, we will do all this, yada yada, and then we'll give you all the things you want. But Schumer shut it down because he didn't really want to fix the issue. He didn't want to fix the issue. No one cared about immigration until Abbott sent these people to Martha's Vineyard.
But what is he even?
Well, guess what, folks?
What is he talking? This isn't even on the prompt.
Get killed. I've had several friends essayed and murdered because of this by illegal aliens that are in part of the cartel. And I sit here and I come on these panels like, oh, boo-hoo, you're so unempathetic. But it's a real fucking problem, and nobody here has the balls to fix it except for Trump. Trump's sitting here doing the hard thing, and he's putting ICE out there and getting the job done. And if it wasn't ICE doing it, it should be the Border Patrol.
But when Admiral Gribb says he's doing the hard thing, he means that he's okay with Trump violating the Constitution. So let's just keep that in your back pocket, okay? When Admiral Gribb says he's doing a hard thing, he means he's going out there and violating the Constitution.
Juan, the guy that works at the farm. Well, guess what? He's fucking me. Juan is fucking me directly. I have legal aliens that I've helped get to work on my ranch. The C&J down the road, they have them like 30, 40 illegals, and they pay them under the table. Oh, they get busted. They get busted once a year. What do they do? They pay a fine. I can't afford to pay a fine. I can't do it. It's bullshit. It fucks with wages. It hurts legal immigration. It's all around bad. And here's the real kicker. The Democrats, there was no great party switch. The Democrats only want illegal aliens here for slavery. The same reason that the same group of people said, who's going to pick our cotton? Or the same ones who's going to pick our crops? Who's going to clean our toilets? Who's going to get us elected? Who are we going to...
Guys, these people are slaves. They're being paid less than the average American. That's why they'd be better off in Honduras and Guatemala. What? Well, okay, yes, they're being exploited. Do we really think the average illegal immigrant here, who is getting exploited compared to American standards, right? Which, by the way, according to Pew Research, the average American immigrant's wage is $17 an hour, right? Which is, for the work they do, less than the average. That is a form of exploitation. Do you really think they would do better in Honduras and Guatemala and El Salvador? No. Yeah, the solution to this is to deport all the people who I think are being exploited, and I think that's bad, to a place where their lives are worse and they're going to be exploited even more.
Funnel money too for our elections. That's the Dems. They're evil and they're slavers. And guess what? We fought a civil war over it. Now we might fight another one if they don't stop taking advantage of my people.
All right, next up, Dylan, we'll give you the floor.
Sure. I am also doing my taxes at the same time.
They violated the Fourth Amendment by entering people's houses without judicial warrant, senior judicial warrant, according to Peyton v. New York. An example of this would be Scott Lee Tao, who's a citizen. They entered his house without a judicial warrant. In the Todd Lyons memo outlined, who is the director of ICE, outlined how they're doing that. Sorry, Dylan, had to interrupt you.
Can use it in this manner means that a president in the future could use it in this manner. And so while it is true that, with the next presidency, I might have some administration that runs ICE much more akin to what I would like, at the end of the day, one administration later, and that could change on its head. The main concerns that I have and this is from talking to people in Minneapolis, St. Paul police officers from the Twin Cities, like different people who have dealt with ICE in the neighborhood, is number one, there doesn't seem to be any culture of accountability. There seems to be a feeling that you can just kind of get away with shit. Seems to be not only what the locals have felt, but also seems to be how this is playing out on the ground. There have been multiple ICE officers who have gone out and shot Americans, and then afterwards, after shooting Americans, they get repositioned to other locations, even if you say they might have been in the right to shoot them legally speaking, after they can't be put before, a court and sentenced guilty. That doesn't mean that they did their job well. Nobody can tell me that shoving that woman to the ground, spraying Preddy directly in the face, bashing her over the head with a can of pepper spray, dragging him to the ground, all these were like de-escalation tactics. None of these people are removed from their positions. None of these people are suspended from their positions or able to continue in their positions.
How are you going to own a ton of
Now,
land and still be broke as a motherfucking
as was said
joke?
earlier, sorry, I'm getting
Has he
somebody
considered
donating money
working?
and it's yelling in my ear. I appreciate the $20 though. This is not just a case for Alex Preddy. This is not just a case for Renee Good. This has been the case for other instances. Maybe it isn't shootings, but there also have been other instances: police abuse, unlawful detainment, and it touches undocumented citizens and American citizens. Now, this is true that it's not completely new that ICE has unlawfully detained people, but there's been a massive surge, and that comes with new people coming into position who don't know what they're doing, who now have had their training cut down to 42 days. 42 days of training. People thought it was 47 days because President of the United States, but no, it was 42. That's not enough training. The areas that they've cut was weapons handling and constitutional law. Those are the types of things that they cut from the training schedule, which I think if you're going to be funneling money into ICE, you should be concentrating on training. If you're going to be massively expanding this effort to touch each corner of the country, you should be training these people more. The whole country's going to have their attention on these mass deportations, something that many people didn't even think could get functionally done within the Republican Party. But that's something Stephen Miller wants to pursue. And if you're going to pursue a policy like that, and you're going to be nabbing people off the street, whether it's a Target, whether it's at Home Depot, these people need to be properly trained in constitutional law. They need to know what the difference between an administrative and a judicial warrant is. They need to understand that escalating the situation, even if it feels good, it doesn't necessarily benefit you. But there needs to be some policy to get rid of the fucking masks. Nobody likes officers who don't show their face. It reminds people of a secret police style moving gang where they come out, grab people, you have no clue who anybody is, and then people disappear. And that's not just happening to undocumented immigrants, it's also happening to American citizens. And that view is never going to be a good look for ICE, and it's something people shouldn't have to deal with. There's no way to build public trust in that manner. Not to mention the fact, the amount of lying that has taken place. You can never rebuild trust with Minneapolis. It's just impossible. You have lying about the Renee Good case, that she was a terrorist trying to go run over this officer. Oh my God, I don't even know how he survived. She was engaging in domestic terrorism. Then you have lying about the case where the two people were shot in the leg, where the ICE officers on the scene ended up lying about it. Then we have the case where Alex Preddy is shot, and they lie about that immediately afterwards, too. This means every single instance where an ICE officer fired their gun and hit somebody in Minneapolis has been lied about either by officers on the scene or by administrative officials. And when I say administrative officials, I don't just mean one or two. I mean basically every single person in the president's cabinet. There's nobody with good judgment here. And if they think that they can treat certain laws, like the privacy of one's home, carding Americans on the street for their ID, I still can't believe that for a second, even if they reeled this back, that they were asking for American citizens to walk around with their goddamn passport and ID if they're walking anywhere near where ICE could be raiding. Newsflash, ICE could be raiding anywhere. They don't announce where they're going to be raiding. So if everybody has to carry an ID or a passport where ICE could be operating, then you have to carry a passport through every single state of every single inch of the country, because anywhere they could be operating, you don't know. They're escalating operations. This isn't how the American people are going to build trust with law enforcement. This is how trust with law enforcement is going to be crushed. It has to either be reformed to the point where it's not recognizable as ICE, or it has to be done away with, and you have to start from scratch. And it's not just, ICE that you have to deal with. You have to deal with the problem of, we had a conversation of it was going to be the worst of the worst. Now people are finding out that their neighbor of 25 years who hasn't done anything wrong is also being included with worst of the worst. The majority of the people who were deported from Minneapolis are not criminals outside of the fact that they committed the civil offense of entering the country illegally. That's the major crime. So if you're going to have a discussion about these people being rapists and murderers, then anybody can...
Now he's laughing. But I need to work on this in debates, okay? Take notes, y'all. If I'm correct, I think according to Pew Research, and this is unauthorized, but I think the Center for Immigration Counsel, I think, has a better study on it. About around 40% of all immigrants or all illegal immigrants in the country are immigrants who are here, are illegal immigrants who initially came here legally. So they came here like on temporary work visa legally, and they overstayed that visa. Now, that is actually a civil offense. Is it illegal? Yes, but it is not a criminal offense. So 40% of the legal immigrants in the country didn't even commit a crime. So I'm actually, for now in debates, I'm not just going to automatically concede that like the being illegal immigrants automatically means like you're a criminal, you've raised the crime rate, right? Because necessarily that's a civil offense. If you just came over here legally and overstayed a visa or some kind of like legal route and you overstayed a temporary status.
Characterize any other group of people this way. I could say all Trump supporters are terrorists, all Democrats are communists, any XYZ.
Okay, there's a difference between civil and criminal. Guys, we have something called civil court and we have something called criminal court, right? Criminal court has higher standards and higher scrutiny, like beyond a reasonable doubt if you're going to be convicted criminally. Civil courts have a lower standard of evidence for a conviction, right? So being charged criminally to being a criminal is different than civilly. Right? That's why you can be civilly punished for like a civil fine. That like when you're speeding, that is Is speeding illegal? Yes. Is speeding a crime? Not usually. It's a minor infraction. It is a civil offense, and you usually have to go and pay that speeding ticket. People who, right, speed aren't usually, right, if you're just like speeding, get pulled over once, that it's, you are not a criminal, but you have committed an illegal act, and that is a civil infraction. Hopefully you understand.
Take that type of discussion from the campaign trail and actuate it in policy, it's always going to fail.
You can go to jail for speeding. No shit. Obviously, you can go to jail for speeding. If, for instance, if you speed multiple times, it can go from just a simple civil infraction to an actual, like, misdemeanor, and then, like, going to court and actually, like, being convicted of that. That is true. I'm talking about if somebody just speeds once on the highway, right, just going 10 over, that is going to be, in most states, a civil infraction, and you're not going to be criminally charged. Holy shit. You have to pay a fine. There's a difference between civil and criminal.
All right, and I believe Alec is the final one to give his opening statement.
ICE bad. I think I don't understand the draw to ICE. I don't understand why people defend them. I don't understand what it is they do for me. I'm not going to come at you with like a bunch of facts and statistics and stuff. I'm just going to tell you what I've seen.
Finally, bro.
Yeah,
had
what's
to
up?
fucking beg in your chat. What'd
Sorry,
you think?
bro.
I saw you were like all the way through the first topic. What, midway through amnesty?
No, bro. I had to call my girlfriend, so I'm just into it actually.
Oh shit. Well, I hate to break it to you. There's not going to be much of substance. Like
I noticed that.
Just granted immediately.
Who's the middle guy?
Jebtan, he's cool from what I know. I was actually thinking about, we got into kind of this complicated argument about border enforcement that I wasn't willing to do the whole discussion by myself, because I know that I would have been doing the whole discussion by myself. But he made the argument that, like, if we did some sort of amnesty requiring a flat tax for people who came here illegally, for like a 5-year period or whatever, and then like super, super, super harsh enforcement after, that he'd be fine with that. I basically said that I don't know why we would need to use like razor wires and shit if we could just promote people to come here illegally, or come here legally, because there's already natural incentives to come here legally. There's already natural incentives to not come here illegally. But believe it or not, CTV and Jake Barr, and all these people on the same panel is not very conductive or conducive to good conversations.
All right. Who could have thought that, right?
There's a lot of
I heard
it was fun.
The middle guy sounds his point on the ICE stuff, at least what I just heard, sounded like pretty intelligent, that like and I like agree, as long as Trump is in office, he's just gonna like dishonestly use whatever agency you give him, even if ICE goes away, so it doesn't really matter. Which in that sense, yeah. But I would just point to like historically, like ICE, like in the Obama, even in the Biden administration, there have been like underlying problems to the culture of ICE, and I think you guys pointed that out.
Yeah, if I wanted to refine my positions, and I wanted like a debate to refine my positions, I'd just go to Jebtan. Or at least on this particular issue. I've only talked to him this one time, but he was really cool. He was the only one that I think was engaging in good faith and knew what he was talking about. Like, I think most of them were engaging in good faith, but engaged in good faith and knew what he was talking about.
Yeah. Well, I know Animal Gribbs didn't even talk about any relevant shit in his opening statement.
Dude,
he
was derailing the entire time.
It's so ranting.
Dude, both of his opening statements were just non-responsive to anything, bro.
So yeah, what Iota Ranch and these coyotes would come across and like, what? What are we doing right now?
I clocked. I don't know why the fuck you would use the Democrats want slave labor argument when we were having an amnesty debate, bro.
Dude, I legit went on a minute rant when I heard that. Like, I heard it and I was like, are we serious? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Did you get to the pushback part?
I have not. We're still like, we're just
Are you still on opening statements?
I think we're still on opening statements.
Like, and what
this is the last opening statement, actually.
Shit. Well, I called it a little prematurely then.
Don't worry. No, I thought you guys would clock it, because I clocked it immediately too. I was like, what are we doing? It's such concern trolling. It's such concern trolling.
That point gets made 5 more times, by the way. The fact that we want amnesty, we don't want illegal labor. I made that point, I think, 5 times.
It's unironically the most unserious point that Mega ever brings up. Why would you virtue single about caring about these people when you want to deport them to Honduras and El Salvador? Like, come on, let's calm down.
I found out to get over my nerves. I found out that if I bullshit a little bit with somebody beforehand and do 15 push-ups before, it kind of gets my blood pumping. I didn't stutter through my opening statement as bad as I usually do.
Oh, you did good. Who was the other guy in the blue hat?
Kazim, he was a lot better than I thought he was.
Well, his opening statement was
better than
really
I
good.
thought he would be. Yeah, he was pretty good throughout that entire thing. I mean, I disagreed with him on certain things. Dude, Alec, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I love him. I love him so much. However, he was really stupid.
Who's Alec again? Which one?
The ginger dude with the camo hat.
Oh, wait, is he on your guys' side?
Yeah.
Okay.
He literally did like open borders forehead. Like open borders forehead.
He was unironic having for that?
Yes. He said, it's just a piece of land.
Why would you even bring that up in the debate? I wouldn't even if I believed in that in this debate, I wouldn't bring it up. I wouldn't even engage on it.
I know. Wait, is Jake still talking with Dylan?
Maybe. Who knows?
Wait, what are we doing here? Oh, is he trying to get Dylan a debate against Andrew?
Maybe. Well, okay.
I love you.
I'm gonna get through. I don't know if I'm gonna watch the full thing, but I'm gonna get through some of it. And if you're still awake, I'll send you a DM and you can hop back on if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. See ya.
Love you, buddy.
Okay, back to the
Seeing
real
from
shit.
ICE does not impress me. Not even
Back
a
to
little
the
bit.
real shit,
Like,
my niggas.
all they seem to be doing is blackbagging people, throwing them into cages, and basically just letting them die there or suffer and be tortured. Like, just last year, I think I was just looking at the statistic, 38 people. Make sure I got that right. 32, my mistake. 32 people died in ICE custody. It was a record, and that was under Donald Trump. 32 people dying in ICE custody is simply not acceptable. Nobody should be dying in ICE custody. The whole point is that we keep them safe, and supposedly the whole point is that we keep them safe and get them out of the country, right? So if they're dying in ICE custody, then ICE isn't even doing their jobs, frankly, at all. Like, they're technically removing the immigrants, I guess, from basic society. But if that's their job, then frankly, I don't want them around. I think that immigrants, both undocumented and otherwise, have been nothing but like a positive for the United States. If you look at the statistics, over 50, I think at least 50% of all of our farm labor is done by undocumented immigrants. It's like close to 50%. So if you just Thanos snap all of those people back to Mexico or wherever, right? Like, what are you even doing then? Like, you're just taking the food out of your own damn mouth. You know, you're biting the hand that feeds you. So that's just one aspect of this. And again, like I said, ICE just has not impressed me. I've seen what they're capable of. Like, they wear masks. They don't even want people to know who the hell they are, which is ridiculous to expect from officers of the law, supposedly. Like, I have no reason to respect
Reno,
them.
sorry. He
I
sounds
have no
low
assurances that
information.
they will
That's fine,
care
though.
about me or my life if I ever get
Everybody
into
else
some
knows
kind
what
of,
you're talking about.
confrontation with them or somehow. As we've seen demonstrated before,
Read the
they will
comments,
simply
see
kill
if
you.
it's- I'm
They will just kill
reacting,
you. And I
okay?
don't think that
I don't wanna
people like
overtalk
that
the
deserve to be
videos
walking
all the
around, waving a gun around and calling themselves officers of the law.
Nope.
I think that's ridiculous. I think we need to abolish ICE.
All right, thank you all for those opening statements. Before we get into the open discussion, I just want to let everybody know in Platinum Politics, we are doing this a little bit differently. We're not doing it in our usual stage. Alex said that there was some issue with the stage, but we're still doing the debate. Yeah. But go ahead and check out all these guys' channels. And for everybody watching and everybody else's audience, come check out Platinum Politics. We are a debate platform that seeks to be as unbiased as possible and allow great discussions to happen, like this one, I hope is. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and set about a 30-minute timer, and I will open the floor.
One thing that I want to address really quick, Alec, were you making the argument that because people died under the ICE detainment, would you say 5 people? 5 people under Trump?
32 last year. 32 last year.
32 last year? Okay,
Yes.
32 last year. Under Biden, it was 26 during
That
his
is
whole
also
administration.
unacceptable.
Oh, so okay. So I just want to be consistent here on where you're going with this. Also unacceptable. So did you want to abolish ICE under Biden as well?
Well, I mean,
Yes.
understand too that Alex started this off by saying that he
Wait.
You're going with it during
That
his
is
whole
also
administration.
unacceptable.
Oh, so okay,
Yes.
32 last year. Under Biden, it was 26 during
That
his
is
whole
also
administration.
unacceptable.
Did he not? Obviously, the argument that it was a significant increase. If over 4 years, only 26 people die in ICE detention, and within Trump's first year, 36 do, it's obvious that ICE is like, sorry, it's obvious that ICE is literally worse at when it comes to like their humanitarian standards within these prisons or in these detention facilities. Because over a shorter period of time, more people are dying.
Okay, so I just want to be consistent here on where you're going with this. It's also unacceptable. So did you want to abolish ICE under Biden as well?
Well, I mean, understand too that Alex started this off by saying that he didn't even understand the function of ICE. So, like, his opinions to begin with is already null and void.
Well,
They've done nothing for me.
I would like to make 2 points. First of all, I think it's kind of weird to compare the amount of people that died in ICE custody over the span of 1 year of the Trump administration to 4 years under Biden.
Thank you, Randy.
Coming to the border and more deportations. That seems like a weird thing.
ICE wasn't doing their job technically under Donald Trump. There was 75,000 detainees. Okay, what was the full detainment of Biden under his 4 years under ICE?
So the difference would be the type of deportations that were happening, right? So Joe Biden wasn't relying as much as. Well, yeah, if you include
exactly. So it makes sense.
If you include the border patrol thing as well, it's still going to be like incredibly disproportionate toward Donald Trump.
Sure, but I'm not comparing the border patrol. Border patrol and ICE do 2 different jobs, right? So
certainly, but in terms of in terms of the people that are dying in custody, I'm pretty sure even if you account for the amount of people that died in CBP custody, it's still probably biased towards the Trump administration. No?
Why did these people die? Anybody ask that question?
A lot of different reasons. It could be because like they're not even guaranteed bed in immigration detention. It could be
squalid detention has been attested to by multiple Congress people.
So is Renell going to bring up the Whipple detention set?
Let's calm down our voices here. I'm just saying 75,000.
Renell's going to be such a goat if he brings up the Whipple detention center in Texas right now.
Detained under Trump compared to Biden's entire administration, which was 36,000. Okay, didn't even come close under his whole 4 years. So you got to compare the numbers before you say it's not fair to compare 1 year over Trump's 4 years over Trump's 1 year. So of course Trump is working overtime with ICE.
I mean, you could also point out the fact that our detention infrastructure is not ready for the amount of ICE detentions that are happening right now, right? Like I said, ICE is arguing that we don't even have to guarantee these people everybody a bed, right? Like it's pretty crazy the amount of people we're jamming into these ICE facilities, no?
So ICE not really, no.
We have facilities that are literally not being used. I can think of 3 in San Antonio that are overflow facilities. In fact, Doge tried to shut one down recently, not too long ago last year because it hadn't been used in 6 years. We have the facilities. Also, I want to point out one thing though, because
okay, if this is true, then why in I think like Minnesota, it's like it's Human Advocates for something v ICE. No, v DHS. That's right. I need to look up let me look up the case. Chat, give me a sec. Advocates for Human Rights v DHS. Sorry. I even had it in my search bar, sorry. In Advocates v Human Rights for DHS, I cannot speak tonight. Holy shit. Why is the Trump administration and DHS specifically arguing that they don't have enough resources for all these people? The Whipple Detention Center in Texas, right? And the judge has quite literally ruled against the Trump administration in that case. So,
Mr. Gunter,
just point out.
Mr. Gunter, he activated my chat card. He openly admitted the thing that I said in my opening, which said he wants slavery. He's like, who's going to pick our crops? Who's going to do it at this lower wage? Who's going to do this shit? That's terrible. What?
I know, wait, hold on. You mischaracterized.
No, I'm not mischaracterized. This is what y'all do.
You did.
Y'all pretend that the American people can't pick crops. We can't do it at fair wage because we're undercutting the legal immigrants who would probably be the ones that would come and pick the crops as migrant workers for the most part. And then instead of paying these people fair wage, you think these people should pick the crops and get paid unfairly and have worse living conditions. This is slavery.
That.
No, you didn't say that, but you said who's going to pick a crop? 50% are illegals. That's a problem.
Pay them fair. Okay, here's the thing.
No. Oh my god, he's engaging with the pivot too. Everybody, the topic's about ICE and if we should abolish it, and currently he's engaging with a pivot about immigrants and if they're taking up American jobs. Oh my gosh. Admiral Gibbs is such a retard.
They're trained for it. At this point,
shit.
right? And they're good at it. So pay them fairly and give them pay them fairly. Give them fair working conditions and livable wages.
Yeah, pay them like Americans, Gibbs.
I have a great solution for you then. Ready? I have a great solution for you then.
Why does it matter?
I'm going to defer to Dylan. You wanted to say something.
This guy is advocating for 1865 Democrat position.
Moderation, please.
We're advocating for amnesty. Wouldn't that give us them the same protections as any other people?
You want all 25 million illegals amnestied?
The second half of this debate, Gibbs.
You're not advocating for amnesty. I've sitting here on mini panels. Now I'm not saying
I'm not
because I've debated y'all. I've offered amnesty as a
Fuck that shit,
compromise many times, and it was
like that to you,
on amnesty because Trump has sat here and said, "No, you're gonna get the stick now." And here's the crazy part: you're saying, "Oh, pay them fairly." Okay, so you want these people who came here legally, have been undercutting Americans and legal migrants work pay. You want them to suddenly get amnesty and get a reward for breaking the law and being enslaved for the whole time? What?
My man, you're boxing shadows.
So I'm not sure if you know what the second proposition we're arguing for is amnesty. So literally every single person on here is going to be arguing for amnesty. So I don't know why you're pretending like the Democrats won.
Wait.
Slave labor.
Do you want all 35 million illegals to be legalized? Is that what you want?
Yes. There's a process. No.
Mod me scratch. I promise I won't ban tankies. What? Ban tankies? Here's ban people who are being racist a lot. Just 1 or 2 racist comments is fine, but if it's just like spamming it, like ban them, or they're just like constantly doing it for like 10 minutes, ban them. I don't know. Yeah, those people. If somebody agrees, just whatever, you get the jam. I trust you. Okay, let me mind your business.
So you want them all? Okay.
Yeah, sure. The vast majority. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Let's chill out. Let's let Dylan talk.
I'll go
See how he's one extreme, bro.
What about two-thirds? Can we take two-thirds of them to board? Okay. Look, let me say a few things. I want to say a few things there. Number one, if you look at some of these cases where people have died inside of ICE custody, some of them are pretty hazy, and we still don't know the specifics of them. There are problems with overcrowding. While it is true some facilities are open, other facilities are overcrowded. And so it depends where operations are picking up, where they're able to detain people. For example, if you're talking about Minneapolis during the height of the surge, you're going to have a lot more crowding than, say, in the middle of Oklahoma, somewhere where they might have a facility, but they're not picking up the people that they want to be picking up. As for the people dying in ICE custody, one case that did scare me was where a son of somebody who was detained by ICE was in ICE custody. He approached officers saying he needs his heart medication. He needs his medication to live. Please give it to them. They tell him they would give it to him. They don't give it to him, and the man dies. Now, when you have these many escalations of detainments, while you cut training and you have overcrowding at these facilities, you're not going to be able to do the proper checkups on people if you can't even get them the space for a bed. And so, yeah, there is a problem with overcrowding. It just might not be overcrowding at the facility near you.
Yeah, and then they're not using old facilities. They've apportioned.
Let's go. Clock that
They
T
made
down.
available $45 billion to make new.
Can we get ones in chat for
facilities
Dylan Burns?
They even tried to do one here in Oklahoma, and it failed because the city told them to go screw themselves because it's insane. Like these are interurban places. You're talking about putting prisons, and we're talking about putting enough prison capacity to like outpace the FBI's prison capacity by 5 to 1 every year. That's a crazy number you're talking about. You're talking about going from having a couple 100,000 inmates in the whole federal system to having millions. It's not feasible. That's already a ridiculous, crazy number. And you're talking about adding more bureaucracy on top of that. The big problem that you're really looking at is the asylum claims. We have 3.7 million of them in the backlog right now. And instead of actually handling them, actually signing the legislation that came through like 2 years ago to handle all of this,
Biden,
let me make it a political issue, and now we'll all have to deal with it in 2 years.
Well, handle it poorly, right? Because I don't think anyone in any other circumstance, especially a circumstance under Trump, I think if Trump was saying, just let my border patrol agents who report essentially directly to me, give them authority to become immigration judges and grant asylum claims or not grant asylum claims. It's a terrible piece of legislation. It would have been a terrible thing. It would have been a massive increase in power for the exact groups of people that you're complaining about abusing power right now. It was not. It was not.
It was right up until the final minute when it was shut down.
There was no. Okay, so I want to be clear here because this is said all the time. There is.
Ooh, this is the point I make against the Linkford bill. I don't like it. This is the exact point I make.
No proof, zero proof.
By the way, guys, make sure to like the live, make sure to
authors of the bill
subscribe.
who said they had the votes to do it. There is no proof that they had the votes
give
to
me
get it
money
passed
if you
and
want
suddenly
to.
change it anymore.
Or don't.
There's none.
I don't care.
So you have a couple people who co-authored the bill. So their incentive of co-authoring a bill they wrote bipartisan into the name of is to sell that it was a bipartisan piece of legislation. But also, I don't give a fuck if it was, even though it wasn't, because what did I just say? What I said was a material issue with the bill. So even if every single person in both chambers of Congress said they wanted to fucking get this done, it would still be dog shit. The material issue is saying, hey, Border Patrol agents, you're now immigration judges, and you can grant or not grant asylum claims.
That's insane. Do they have legal degrees to be able to do that?
No, and that's what the legislation, because the legislation was allowing them to do that. The legislation would have allowed Border Patrol agents to grant asylum clams. That's what Biden wanted to do. Biden wanted the president to be able to snap his fingers and do whatever he wanted.
Just like in a bunch of other parts of the bill probably wouldn't. But the point is that
did you hear him when he said that was being pushed through by Biden?
Yes, this was in the bill.
Wait, let's be clear. When we say pushed through by Biden, can you remember the circumstances of this bill being introduced?
Yeah.
They were trying to pass Ukraine aid. Then Trump said, no Ukraine aid until we deal with the southern border invasion. Two totally different issues, but this is politics. You connect different issues all the time. That's how stuff gets blocked in Congress all the time.
Which is awful.
You know, and then under those conditions, that's when this bill was made. Of course, it was an imperfect bill. This shouldn't have been the conditions under which we were negotiating immigration policy.
Which by the way, Burns, that happened literally in the last year of the administration where he was trying to get elected on here.
But it also doesn't materially change my issues with the bill. My issues with the bill, there's just no evidence or even reason to believe that part of the bill wouldn't have been in there if it wasn't being balanced against Ukraine.
It never made it to the floor because
in fact, it would have been more aggressive.
The Republicans did it.
Yeah, but the issue is that's not the only thing. What I'm saying is that's such a glaringly, obviously stupid thing that nobody here knew or brought up that makes me think maybe we shouldn't be having a conversation based on this bill that people aren't that aware of the contents of because it was awful. People talk about that bill like Trump just blew up this easy solution that we had to just fix the border.
Yeah, that's what you liberals. That was y'all's narrative.
Let me ask this then.
Destiny used this argument against me, bro.
What was Trump's alternative?
Thank you for the floating.
Well, the Republicans had an alternative. While Biden was president, the Republicans had an alternative that even Fetterman liked, and it actually involved reforming some of the asylum process and tried to codify. I mean, the Democrats don't even consider shutting it down because they never entertained him in the first place. Even when Trump was president in his first term, the Democrats were shutting down anything with any border wall funding, even though there was, I'm pretty sure, a pretty clean bill. There was 500 immigration judges for the amount of border wall funding that Biden did anyway.
It had more than the other bill, by the way. All the things Jeb's talking about is absolutely true. The bill under Trump had more of all the things that the most recent bill had, but larger numbers. And they shut it down.
500 immigration judges.
Yeah, so I don't want to sit here and hear the side horse, amnesty, all this shit. Like, that's a problem. Also, Dylan,
no, it was a token.
We shouldn't have combined the Ukraine and the border shit. That was bullshit.
Yeah.
Totally
Is that what bill are they even talking about?
I don't know why. That made me mad on top of what was already in the bill.
I'll tell you why. The reason why is because the president wanted to be able to control Ukraine policy while not being in office, and this was a way to legislatively.
By the way, notice we're so off topic. It's about the entire debate's about ICE. I see what I mean. There isn't much substance to this debate. No shit, there isn't. Oh no. We're talking about the link for bill in HR2 instead, and the Murphy bill instead of if we should abolish ICE. Holy shit. Lock in.
Yep.
We need to lock
Well,
in.
I mean, that's true. I'm not gonna argue that. But I'm
Now
just
making our point. But yes,
It's unhinged. It's unhinged that you guys listen to him when he's not in power. That's crazy to me.
Can I ask? Wait,
we don't listen to him. I don't listen to him.
I objected to the bill as a Texan long before Trump even said anything. Literally the day I read it, I was like, "This is terrible." Jeb and I went on how many panels did we do on that bill? Jeb, like
Again, what's the
15,
alternative?
Yeah, I went on a lot.
It was like, if you're like, "Oh, Trump hates it, you hate it." I'm like, "No, bitch, I hate it because it's dog shit." Like that's why I hate it. And I would go through point by point, and they'd be like, you know. And I don't think we need to have a point by point over this bill. It's like 5
Well,
minutes.
Gibbs,
But
that's
like,
because they all
The
got
point is they
TDS,
never wanted
right?
to fix it.
These
They
are
never wanted to fix it.
that's
They
all
want to
they
keep what they're
hear,
doing right now.
right?
Can I
No,
ask
it's not just
question?
TDS. Like this was thoroughly reported this way. I'm not going to write them all off as having TDS, but it's important to actually understand that bill was not this easy, great solution. It was
I'm
not.
gonna
The point
ask
is
about- I'm
that
gonna
that's
ask
why
questions
they
about
don't
ICE.
remember. Right,
Yeah,
that's why they
ICE
don't remember
was being read by
that
ICE.
Jeb and Gibbs had the position that they had is because they want to lock everything in with Trump, and they can't see past the nuance of an individual having their own opinion and having read the bill
I
themselves.
immediately caught that it was a shit bill. I immediately caught that.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I want
it was
to
the
ask about ICE as it stands right now. Let's go through like a checklist of things that ICE does and whether they should or should not do that. I think because this will be the key areas as to why people think ICE should be abolished or should not be abolished, right? If they're doing something that's clearly illegal, unconstitutional, and we can't stop ICE from doing it, well then it shouldn't exist, right? Because we all agree the Constitution is the foundation of the republic, etc. Blah blah blah, liberalism, yada yada. Anyway, I want to ask number one: should these cops be wearing masks? Does it make sense that there's a certain part of the federal executive branch going out there, their law enforcement on, they'll be able to throw that shit out there, of the DHS, that they can go out there, not be able to identify themselves, be masked up in communities they're not a part of, and grab people off the street that people, obviously community members, won't know the circumstances of what's happening. They'll just see masked guys, many of them in civilian clothing, by the way, grabbing people and throwing them out into a van. One example that I saw in Minneapolis that really scared me was 2 women in a car. Oh my God, I have car trouble. Somebody help me, somebody help me. Then this man walks out from his front home to go and help them. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of masked agents swarm, take the man, throw him in the van, boom, gone. Now he's in some facility states away.
Dylan,
That type of
Dylan,
behavior-
that doesn't sound like a
That's
criminal
so
to me,
weird.
Dylan. That's so weird that you
well-to-do neighbor.
Dylan, that's so weird that you want to kind of frame this in a way to where like everybody in the neighborhood doesn't know who the fuck ICE is. They see
Well, they
the
know who
news,
ICE
Dylan.
is,
Okay,
but they
they
don't
definitely know what's happening, and they're trying to obstruct justice. That's actually what's happening right here. And the reason why these ICE agents wear
What are we doing? What are we doing? Guys, he went out to go and help some ladies who were having car trouble. It was obstruction of justice. What are we doing?
the
Come
mask is because they're
on.
getting doxxed by leftists that are on your side to try to harass their families. So this is why ICE agents have to wear the mask.
Sorry.
It's for their fucking safety, just like your BLM riders, just like all these other folks were wearing masks as well to conceal their identity.
How do we guarantee that the amendment right you can't identify your accuser?
So this is
the ability to go enforce laws by the state.
BLM riders were the ones that contributed $20 billion worth of collateral damage.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Dylan, I'm saying, look, Dylan.
Oh my gosh, everything. Gotta get the BLM, guys. It's literally, they have these like constellation of beliefs, and every single grab. By the way, so Dylan Burns made a point. Let's see, wait. How do we get here? Dylan Burns made a point about how this one guy was grabbed by, there was this unidentifiable unmarked vehicle. 2 men who were completely unmarked came out and grabbed him, threw him in the back of a van or back of a truck, and they took him when he came out to help his neighbors. He then said that was obstruction of justice, and then he pointed to obstruction of justice and then BLM? Oh, how are you?
I'm just making the point that the ICE agents are wearing those masks because their families are being attacked by crazy leftists.
Okay, I want to respond to
Jake,
that.
which department
Can I
of-
be sympathetic? I want to respond to that. That's a direct question to me. Okay. Number one, when you say they always know what's going on, ICE rolls up quick, they roll up fast, it's confusing, you don't always know what's going on. The whole point is surprise.
Why are they doing that though?
They're doing that to try to catch people. But then when you're masked
Yeah,
up,
like
you're not
rapists,
clearly-
like
wait,
criminals.
Let me finish. Not all.
Or
most
somebody who has a
rapists,
woman in her car.
But
Calm down,
a lot
Jake.
of times they come up, no official ICE clothing. They're literally dressed as civilians. They have masks on. They pile out.
And there's
from a
many
van,
other that
and they
have
grab
ICE
people.
on there, and people are still
Jake.
attacking them.
Whether
What does it matter?
Okay, Jake.
That type of no, it does matter. The idea that somebody can enforce laws against you while you have no clue who they are, you can't look at their ID, you have no clue if they're from the community, not from the community. That does not only poison relations, but it also turns people against.
Well,
them.
they're wearing masks. Isn't that a dead giveaway?
It's like the self-fulfilling prophecy. Like this point can never be wrong, right? ICE is going around in unmarked vehicles with unmarked vehicles and unidentifiable people and grabbing people out of their houses or grabbing people on the street and throwing them in vans. So people realize that and they go out to protest. Well, those protesters are obstructing justice, so we need to keep being unmarked and can't identify ourselves, which means that more people go on. Like this point can literally never be wrong.
I think that's your whole point here is that they should be wearing
So
masks.
they're like Antifa. They're like Antifa. ICE officers
Yeah,
are
okay, they're like Antifa now. Okay, they're like Antifa.
They are kind of a little bit like Antifa. They're both
So
scared
then
of
you would
the
agree? Okay, so then would you agree that riders and Antifa shouldn't be wearing masks during those protests either? No, why
They are
enforcement?
civil servants. They are civil servants. They have no obligation.
I'm asking Dylan, do you believe?
Hold on.
I love my
Yeah,
anti-fascist
I
federal
wanna-
government.
Let me respond real quick.
All right,
Listen,
yeah.
listen.
Yeah, do we think like the responsibility of a federal officer is the same as somebody who's going to a protest as Antifa?
Jake,
Let
before
Dylan
we get-
respond.
Okay. I think that they shouldn't, but of course they have the right to because they're private citizens. When you're an officer,
Oh.
you're held to a different standard because we give you a gun, we say you can enforce the law, we say you have the
Wow.
ability in some select circumstances to choose who lives, who dies, who goes to prison, and because of that, they should be upheld to the standards of accountability, people being able to look at their face. It also builds public trust, and ICE has no public trust.
Well,
Can I
yeah,
jump in
no,
here?
here's the deal.
True.
Here's the deal, right? Like you're
Oh,
completely
as for
forgetting,
the
and Jake,
doxing, go after the people who attack ICE officers and get violent, stab them, try to do any of that.
yeah, the people that are showing up to
People-
ICE facilities, shooting at them too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
saying arrest
Okay.
them.
So when you're sitting there saying,
Hey,
ICE,
one guy-
you have crazy
Wearing a
leftists.
mask,
These are the same people that killed Charlie
wearing a
Kirk that are
mask.
trying to kill ICE agents, bro.
If
mean
it's
Neil
left-
is
last
a
thing
nihilist?
I'm last thing I'm
Hold
gonna
on.
say, and then I'll be quiet for 30 minutes. Jesus, fuck you all. We're
Alright.
talking at the same time. If this is true, these guys are so crazy. These leftists, they put on their masks to do other stuff. Whether or not they wear the masks, the crazy people who are going to do that are going to do that regardless. Without the mask, they have an ability to build trust with the rest of the public. If they're going to go throw a bomb at ICE, you just said they shoot at their facilities. They're shooting at their facilities despite the fact that they wear masks because they know where the ICE agents are. They're at the Whipple building. They're over there. You know where their offices are. So I think the mask
Yeah,
is
but-
a
okay.
trust.
So pretty good idea to wear a mask if they're trying to kill them as well as going after the families. Wouldn't you say, Dylan? Like that kind of makes sense on why they're wearing masks.
Guys, ICE agents constantly violate the Constitution, people's rights, and shoot random civilians ahead. Okay, that means we're gonna go. Oh, that means we're gonna go out and protest ICE, and that might lead to some individuals taking violent actions against them. Oh, that means that what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue to do that stuff. On top of that, we're not gonna make ourselves identifiable, which is gonna once again even more justify people going out to protest and violent action. It's literally self-fulfilling. Anytime when ICE does a bad action, that leads to more protests. That might lead to some violence taking place against ICE officers, then ICE is like, oh, well, that means that we can be even more of a Gestapo or secret police state agency.
Yeah, exactly.
Jake, if they know where the building is at, are you going to put a mask on the building? Like, ICE officers wearing a mask isn't going to prevent an
That's not my argument. That's not my argument. My argument is that with their identity in the open, they're able to dox their family.
That's an elementary
Okay,
argument.
why would you bring up the shooting? Nobody shot up like an ICE officer's house. It was a detention facility.
I'm saying that
All right,
these
it's
people
getting
are the
chaotic.
same ones that killed Charlie Kirk. They're insane. They're on your side of the political aisle.
It's all relaxed.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Let's all relax.
That's why I brought it up.
Fucking need moderator to start muting people.
All right. Let's calm down. This isn't going to be a good debate if we can't hear each other. I believe
see
Ringo
you
was
go.
trying to respond to.
No, that Dylan won $1,000. He bet that it was going to be toxic, so you should be happy, Dylan.
Let Ringo respond, but I want to hear what CTV has to say.
But let's let Ringo respond, and then we can continue from there.
What was your
Well,
name?
I think Gibbs was just asking what your name was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my apologies. It's like I can't see it because I have the streamer mode up. I apologize, Ringo. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're all good. Moderator, what's your name?
So yeah, moderator, your name. Mace.
Mace. Yeah, the only point that I was making is that like the only situation that you were able to bring up of like articulatable harm that these ICE officers are facing is like shooting an ICE detention facility. But unless you're gonna like put a mask on the facility, then yeah, but why did you bring up the shooting of the facility? That was gonna happen
To
regardless.
prove the point that these people are insane, that not only are they doxing them, they're actually going to the facilities and shooting at them as well.
The mask has
Let me
nothing
jump
to
in.
do with the facility.
Let me
Let me
jump
jump
in
in
here.
here. Hold on. So here's the thing. You talk to any police officer anywhere in the country, especially federal agents, border patrol agents, anybody. They're going to tell you that when you take this job, you understand that people are going to target you for the uniform you're wearing. They're going to find you. They might even follow you back to the station. They might even follow you home after the station. This is something they're consistently worried about. They always deal with. Every time there's a BLM or Antifa riot, what do they burn down? A police station, right? They're all the same conditions apply. But only one of these groups, for some reason, gets to wear masks. We generally understand that the other ones don't do that, and there's a reason why they don't do that, because they're interfacing with the community. Yes, the far left should have started out treating ICE like servants of the community, both in the sense of accountability, but also by not doxing them and being crazy about them. But we can't say that we're going to have ICE act like essentially enemies of the people that they're trying to serve, that their tax was serving, because people were mean to them on the internet. Because there aren't any stories of an ICE agent's home actually getting shot up or their family actually getting harmed. So we're talking about people being mean to ICE agents on the internet right now. Is the reason they're the one federal agency that gets to wear a cosmetic only mask. It's not because they have to wear a gas mask or anything. Obviously, those are exceptions, but this is just to shield their identity from the public they're supposed to serve.
And there is stories
I
of
wanna hear
ICE
from
officers
CTV.
illegally entering civilians' homes, American citizens' homes.
Yes.
So, that's why people want accountability. That's why they want to see their face. Because when they see that, there's the same arguments being used right now. And I understand it comes from a place of wanting these ICE officers to be protected, but this is used by secret police all around the world. This is used by police departments in Russia and Iran and anywhere where it is the police have an authority they probably should not have. One of the first things they do is mask up the officers so they don't face public retaliation and nobody knows what their name is.
Weird TX, you are on a thin iceberg. I'm gonna make one point towards you, and if you respond with something absolutely brain dead and retarded, I will definitely ban you. Okay? You cannot live the experience of millions of illegal immigrants or thousands of miles of borders or millions of people in the country. When we're talking about these Fourth Amendment violations happening, and there are literally hundreds of cases, hundreds of habeas petitions, hundreds of people who are being arrested without probable cause, I can say, well, have you lived that? Why do you have to look that up? Because nobody can personally experience and all of that. No shit. Especially if we're trying to get an idea of scale. And especially if I'm making the point that this is a policy of the Trump administration to do, I'm going to be referring to either higher ups in the Trump administration in their written word and statements, which are published online, or published in a court case, which is online. And I'm not going to be living that, right? If I'm having an argument with somebody about how many illegal immigrants came over here during the Biden administration, I don't go like, well, Sonny, I lived in El Paso, Texas for 40 years, and I've never seen more immigrants come across the border. I'd be like, do you think El Paso is the only place where people can come across the border illegally? Like, come on, there's thousands of miles of border. Of course, we couldn't use your one person's personal experience to try and derive that or figure that out. That's retarded. So please if you can't give a good answer to that and just please, or like just concede, then you can get banned.
Bizarre. And that, to me, has all of the changes of authoritarianism.
Okay, well, the attacks on ICE officers compared to the previous administration is up by like 2,000%, Dylan.
No, 25. There's only been 25% increase in the number of charges filed in federal court for aggravated assault against federal police officers.
I'm not talking about aggravated assault. I'm talking about actual shootings.
Guys, facts on point.
Come on, man. Like, what are you going to do about what I just said? NPR said
they're in uniform when
Even
they're
if it's
being
up
shot.
by 25%, that's still a high number, bro. What are you talking about? Even if I drag the 25%.
That's national level news that you would hear about, like, immediately.
So don't you think that it's up? It being up by 25% is still a problem, bro? Jake, do you remember the would you consider that to be an issue?
All right. Let's let Jake respond to Jake. I want to agree with Jake a little bit. Let me do it. Let me reach across the aisle. I agree that a 25% increase is a problem. But you said earlier that the increase in deaths is also from an increase in operations. So the increase in attacks on ICE officers is also going to be in part contributed to by an increase in ICE operations. So you'd also have to agree with that, no?
I would agree with you on that because the ICE agents under Trump are actually deporting, detaining illegal immigrants within the interior, you're going to lead up to a lot more individuals attacking that. I can see that for sure. But at the same time, we do see a lot of lefties that are going after, again, the left is the one that burned down BLM riots back then, the Tesla burnings, the Chaz takeover. So these guys already have a history in his first administration already rioting, bro, and attacking facilities. Okay. We have the same thing now.
By the way, the Tesla burnings were PSYOP. It was actually a rap.
That Trump's in his second term, we see the ICE agents getting attacked, the LA riots. Every time Trump gets into office, you lefties lose your fucking mind and you burn down everything around you. I think that's the problem.
Because you established that they've been attacked about 25% more, and you just own that could be from operational persistence.
I would also like to reach across the aisle real quick.
Well, you didn't even ask the question. Dylan did. Do you think that's a problem?
So? What?
You read the question, but you're just like, oh, what? Biden has a Trump bad, so it's okay. Trump bad, so it's okay.
Let me jump in. Okay. Let me just read. Yeah, go ahead, Dylan.
Trump bad, so 25%, no big deal.
Look, my problem with this philosophy isn't that I want ICE officers to be targeted at their homes. I think that's a horrible standard for anybody to be targeted at their homes, right? That includes the homes that they're entering illegally. But at the end of the day, these officers sign a contract. $50,000, they sign up for this, right? If you're an individual citizen, you don't sign up for an ICE officer to walk up to you.
By the way, like and subscribe.
When that
and
give me
money
sign
if you
up
want
for
to.
all these things, and having people come up to you with masks is immediately going to make you oppositional. I'm telling you right now,
Oh,
there is no
my
limit.
God. What if they wore Spider-Man masks? Would that be better?
Let me very clear. Last statement. Jake Barr, I am probably one of the more moderate people you'll talk to on the issue of immigration. When I do my documentary, a lot of it's going to be talking about how protesters have treated police officers, stuff like that. I'm going to be concentrating on that.
Okay.
As that moderate person, I will tell you, I will never obey orders from a masked police officer ever on principle because I don't believe it's
fair
right.
enough, bro.
There's a lot of people who are going to feel that same way, and it's going to be poison from the base.
And I think half the country is okay with this when they're deporting, rapists and shit. Go ahead, Admiral. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I want to build a little bit of a bridge here, because I mean, Jake, you and I are pretty on the same position. But however, I'm a little confused, Jake, because I actually agree with the sentiment that Dylan just said. I'll be damned if some masked fucker is going to come up and tell me that show me the papers, bro. Like, I'll be damned.
What if it was Spider-Man? Would you be okay with that?
Jesus Christ himself. If they walk up to my house, they say, show me their papers, I'm going to fucking be like, no, bitch, you show me your papers, right?
You call Jesus a bitch? Come on, man.
I will call it. Hell yeah, bro. I'll call anybody bitch. God's got a sense of humor. Secondly,
all right.
Have you seen the faces people make when they have sex? He's got jokes. All right. Secondly, I want to go to this. As a pro-Texan, 2A person, when Santa Ana came down and said, I'm going to take these fucking cannons, what did we tell him? We said, go fuck yourself. We shot him, right? Who do you think is a pro-2A is going to come with your guns? It's going to be the mask cops. It's the SWAT team, right? So, you can't be pro-2A and pro-masks if you're conservative. Yes. So, I don't like doxing either, but, stand by your business. And, honestly, if they go attack these guys that are not masked, that gives us free reign to be like, look, they are terrorists. So, I think the mask thing is just enabling the left's complaints. But finally, the reason why we have to do the masks, or they're trying, not we, but they have to do the mask, is because they are getting shot at these facilities, which is a real problem. Because
they're getting doxed.
The maxes don't save anything.
These people don't believe in
random realistic terrorism.
These people don't believe in borders ID, but now they have checkpoints set up in random city blocks. Suddenly they just understand it. I don't know. It's a problem.
I don't know why we keep acting like a mask is.
How much for you to do my homework? Pay me $5 and then I'll give you a price.
Going to prevent shooting a facility. They know where the facilities are.
I don't know why we're acting like a mask is a huge deal because you're afraid of Spider-Man.
Why do you think police officers have to identify themselves to you, give you a business card and a badge number?
If someone came up to me in a Spider-Man costume, I wouldn't let them arrest me.
Yeah.
But Jake, why do you think police officers do have to identify themselves if you ask them to? If you get pulled over by a cop and you ask for his card, he's got to give it to you. Why do you think that's the case?
Yeah, it's their right to know exactly who the person is that's detaining them. Yeah, I can agree with that. I know. I think it's also having.
So
Yeah, and
so like take the masks off. I feel like it's not that hard of an ask then.
well, again, if they're getting
Jake's argument falls apart. Jake's argument falls apart because you're asking citizens to be okay with other citizens being masked while they're conducting what's supposed to be legitimate law enforcement operations, right? But that's not what's happening, right? What's happening is that these immigration officers need to have their identities protected, not specifically against these leftists, which we know will do the doxing and do all this stuff, but because they're specifically going after some people that are involved with the cartels, and that is a legitimate threat. That's
a good point.
Harder for the federal government to defend those families, right?
We
so
don't
your
even
falls apart.
I didn't feel support at all. You just piggybacked off my argument. Well, what the fuck are you talking about?
And they dress like military. Like we literally in Laredo not too long ago had a cartel pull up, literally in police uniforms, and mow down people. Just like so you're telling me, how am I supposed to know?
Doesn't even make sense, right? Because according to the latest data that we have through FOIA requests from ICE, as a not in total, but as a proportion to the amount of like people who are convicted criminals to non-convicted criminals, more non-convicted criminals as a proportion are being arrested by ICE than previously. So it doesn't make sense. Like, they don't have the cartels more, but they're
or like I don't know what's a
detaining and arresting
Why am I
people
supposed to tell
with
this that nice? Like if they pull up and they got a mask on. Like I have a problem with
sorry,
masks.
less people
However, I have a
commit
problem
bigger
with
crimes,
That's
but I
really my only
guess.
complaint about ICE. It's the mask.
It's a combination. So see, for me, it's a combination. How many civil rights infractions are they allowed to do? So far, they're up to about 4,500. Do they get to just keep going until they hit 100K? Are we playing a high score game? Is this an idle game?
Considering the amount of people who came across the border or inside the country illegally, you can expect those numbers to be high.
I'm talking about you tell them from the top, hey, guess what? You can just go out and basically do whatever the fuck you want.
There's a perfect organization that can be created where the numbers can be served across the board, right? The problem is that your side is unwilling to accept responsibility for the fact that those people are illegal anyway. And because you're unwilling to accept that, right? We end up in this conversation where you think you're supposed to justify some shit when there's no actual stance to be able to justify a thing.
I have a great solution for making sure that they're not here illegally. It's called blanket amnesty.
Blanket amnesty.
Yeah, just give them legalship. Cool, amazing. Kaz, I have a question for you really quickly.
Would you afford that to, Mr. Gunter?
I got a question for you. What were you saying?
What legal categories of immigrants would you afford that to? Because I
legal categories of immigrants.
Yes.
Well, I just think that it should be far, far easier to get citizenship than it currently is. That's all.
I think we're looking at that.
A couple of papers, a background check. Like, do a background check. If they have a background check, fine. Deport them, sure. I don't care.
Such a bad
at least, like, I get background checks done just because I'm a healthcare professional. Like, we can't just, like, I don't know. Like, that seems simple, right? Like, just...
And also,
I don't even care to comment on the mask.
Do background checks in the country of origin in a lot of cases. So that's not every country, that's not every situation, but it wouldn't be at all difficult and would actually be an economic boon to both countries. We're just do that for every country that we set it up with.
I got a quick question for you, for Alec and as well as Cass. Whoever wants to answer it, really. If you guys are for...
Shouldn't that one dude be taking out his Iran flag and putting up his... taking out his Ukraine flag and putting up his Iran flag? Loony-ass dude. Of course a BB. Right? Inshallah, my brother. Shalom alaikum. Of course, we support the Ayatollah and the IRGC in their goal of ridding the earth of the infidel and and making sure to preach and spread Allah's word to everybody. Okay.
Sheen completely ICE, which is okay. That's y'all's argument. What are you going to replace?
I'm currently on my
If
Hajj.
there's people in the interior of the United States that are here illegally. What are you going to replace it with? Exactly.
The problem with the INS was totally bureaucratic. It was incredibly bureaucratic. It's why we have all the point is. Goofy loopholes. It's why we have all these weird goofy statuses that don't really help us. Things like humanitarian parole. It was useful for after the Iraq War, not very useful now. T visas or trafficking victims. There's a certain level of ambiguity there, but we're only talking like 5,000 people a year. So all these different statuses, you add them up, and it becomes three really like standout ones. It's visa overstays, unlawful entries, and dreamers. Now, my big concern is with the unlawful entries. That's where your real problem is. Those are people that willingly walked across the border and stayed.
So you like Trump's
three components that are bad, and we should
you do like Trump sealing at least the border, right? As far as border encounters under Biden was like 20,000, under Trump nowhere even near that number. Is like
I don't think it's
so you like that.
For the first time, more people are leaving the country than entering. I can't imagine why that might be under a Trump presidency. He must be doing a great job.
My question is, do you at least like that, border encounters? Do you like that? That's my question.
Not necessarily. Why would you like that?
Okay,
just let me ask you something. What's wrong with people wanting to come to our illustrious... What's wrong with people wanting to come to our illustrious, beautiful country? What is so wrong with that? If you want border encounters, we want more people. We want more workers. We want more manpower. What are you talking about?
Yeah, border encounters aren't a good data set. So border encounters basically are made up of two things. Or a number of things. It's Title 42 expulsions and anything under Title 8. So that's going to be Title 8 apprehensions. Now, basically that means Title 8 apprehensions can mean a number of things. It could mean that you cross the border and you are seeking asylum. You want to apply for TPS now that you're in the country, and you think you can be served around the class. You think that you're eligible to be protected under the Convention Against Torture. It could be you could think that you are inadmissible, but you under like the CHV program that Biden had, you can be paroled into the country, right? So those are all legal forms of immigration that would be included apprehensions and therefore in encounter data. So That's number one. Number two, expulsions. Title 42 expulsions are actually a form of deportation, right? So in the border encounters numbers, we're counting a form of deportation. Very weird. It's not a good data set, number one, because when you're expelling people, or at least the way that Title 42 expulsions, while Title 42 was implemented up until March 2023, is basically immigrant cross the border, they'd immediately be sent back to Mexico, right? And that person, guess what? They would try and immigrate again. That's why, according to Pew Research, I think it was at least until 2022, they estimate 26% of all border encounters were actually inflated numbers because those are just repeat crossers. So they're literally the same person crossing again. So not good data in that way because it's inflated. It's not good data because it includes legal immigrants. It's not good data because it includes what are literally considered to be deportations. On top of that, increased border encounters technically can actually mean increase in border security. For instance, if you have a weak ineffectual border patrol that isn't actually catching everybody who's coming across, right? Or being able to apprehend everybody who's coming across under Title 8 at least, and you increase border security and you have more apprehensions because you're catching more people, increased encounters could actually indicate that you have a stronger CBP. So not good data to use. You can't, it really doesn't mean anything. You can't derive anything from that. The actual data to look at is from like the American Immigration Council, and the total amount of illegal immigrants that reside in the country. Okay.
Eliminate these borders altogether and just become one world government. Is that what you want?
Those have been closed
To
down.
eliminate all borders?
You don't want to get into what I want.
The United States, how do we do
You
that?
can't handle what I want. There's no way you can handle what I want.
Well, I'm asking you the
That's not for
question. Do
tonight.
you just want to eliminate the borders completely? Is that what you want? Because that's what you're describing right now. How about we just eliminate all borders?
Answer to that. We're not.
I do want the answer. That's why I'm asking you. Yes or
We're
no?
talking about abolishing ICE.
Yeah. Well, you just brought up how what's the matter of everybody kind of coming in, whatever. I'm asking you. Do you want to just abolish the border while we're at it?
Delusional child, you will grow up soon. Tell me what I just said was wrong. Tell me why what I just said was wrong, please. I let's get an answer.
Okay, what's the problem with somebody going from like Indiana to Ohio? Anything?
Because they're both fucking U.S. citizens. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, answer my question.
Oh, okay. So it
Are
sounds
you
like
okay
as
with
well.
eliminating all
Okay.
borders?
Okay. Yes, actually, eventually, yes. That is my goal. Yes, eventually. Not tonight, not tomorrow. But eventually, yes. Does that help?
That's what you want.
Does that help?
Realism, or how do you
That is my eventual goal.
Do you
Yes.
agree with him?
Do you want to like conquer
I don't care.
the borders, or how do you want to eliminate?
But that's not what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about abolishing ICE. We can start
Yeah,
there.
but if you abolish it,
border abolition is way far down the line. Way far down the line.
the reason
We're
why
not talking
they're
about it.
Jake, I just want to throw something out there. See, me and Alec, we have different positions. I don't think borders should be abolished. I think that's stupid, right? So I think
yeah, it is dumb.
stupid.
Most
But
parties should
let
have
me finish. We both agree, though. He probably thinks my position is stupid too. We both agree, though, that what ICE is doing when it comes to masking is something that looks authoritarian, something that poisons the image of the community, and something that's interesting is when I went to these protests in Minneapolis, I'd meet little old grandmas with signs that said things like "rain in ice," which was fascinating to me. That's the most moderate, like kind of like, could we please regulate our boys a little bit more? And I remember talking to her about it. She said, I just think they need to act with a little bit more dignity. That was this old woman's position. She drove 60 miles out there. That woman is now in the same camp as a person who wants to abolish borders. That's what ICE behavior has done. That's what.
Yeah. Did you ask her? Did you ask her what she meant by dignity? What does she mean by that?
She meant like they should be act. What was it, like a 1-minute interview? It was going from person to person.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Maybe just acting legally, right? Maybe just have ICE stop violating the fucking Constitution like it's an update, right? Like maybe have ICE agents that aren't willing to break into private property without a judicial warrant, right? Like I feel like that's a easy ask. Huh?
Yes. How do you exert your Fifth Amendment rights when the person that's accusing you is not able to be addressed in any meaningful manner?
Well, they will still be able to be addressed. Obviously, like people know their identity within the facilities of ICE, right?
Do they?
So yeah,
but then you're relying on.
what do you talk? They do have badges, so they know who's who, even with the mask. So you can easily still. You can. Okay, still. You do realize after the Alex Purdy death that happened, the two individuals that shot Alex Purdy, their faces were all on the internet. We knew their identity, regardless of that. What are you talking about? So they can still do it.
Good, right? And that's
because of the doxing. That's why they wear the mask, Dylan.
They got to protect themselves. They have their badges out.
Let me accept that.
I didn't say they had it out.
ICE officers get doxxed, that they get shamed on the internet. Some people even go as far as posting up addresses. That hasn't led to anything yet.
Some go far as like literally shooting at facilities.
Shooting at facilities, but them getting doxxed isn't going to change that. They know where the facilities are. I can show you where they are.
I'm not arguing that it's going to change that. I'm saying these are all the problems that we have. This is why mask will help.
Are we going to acknowledge that he keeps bringing up this?
Going crazy. But no, let me just quickly say, if what you're saying is true, that getting doxxed and is all horrible, I agree. And the people who shot Alex Purdy got doxxed anyway, I agree. That shows that even if you have the masks, this thing that's damaging your position within the community, hurting your image with the little grandmas to Alec Gunn, why keep the mask if they're going to get doxxed anyway?
Address the cartel.
Well, again, the reason why they wear masks.
Talk about the cartel.
Address the cartel.
I don't want to answer your question, Dylan. Move on to the cartel.
We can move to the cartel, but
that's part of the job is to deal with the cartel.
Dylan just made this point. Address the cartel.
Is that
I would like to protect the family American
address them directly, Dylan.
Enforcing immigration law from a foreign entity.
Do you think that the El Paso police who used to do the detainers at the border?
He's talking to Dylan.
To be clear, I think that of course they put their lives at risk when it comes to cartel, but it's not just them fighting the cartel. A lot of it has to do with drug enforcement. Do they get the mask up? No, they don't. Why is it just ICE officers? Are we going to expand masking to now drug enforcement?
Because ICE officers are the ones going inside
ATF
homes.
officers who can go to your house, take your gun, are going to be masked up as well.
DA kick down doors too. The DEA don't get to wear masks. They kick down doors. The SEALs and Rangers that they deputize at the border whenever it gets really bad down there, they don't get to wear masks.
How many masks?
Yeah,
no one gets to wear masks.
Donald Trump. The reason why is because of Donald Trump and the left.
Okay. Here's why our officers don't wear masks because they have.
And in one instance, you're supposed to be protecting our people that are enforcing the law, and you're just throwing them up to the cartel for nothing, right? Like
It's their job to protect us, dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no shit. And we have a duty to.
You should also let them do their job. You should also let them do their job.
Are you kidding? Do we have to protect the officers? What are you talking about, man?
We have to not let them do their job. What are you talking about?
In a different way than what that other law enforcement officers do. You can critique, and I've been listening to all your critiques about the organization. Sure, there's always room to improve, right? But there hasn't been any argument been made as far as this question is concerned that actually has me go, yeah, we should move away from the position of them having masks. I still think that their privacy, right, with regard to foreign entities that would potentially do them harm, should definitely be considered, and it shouldn't just be so laissez-faire overlooked as if their safety doesn't matter as American citizens.
So does the DEA safety not matter?
That's not how we protect it.
Okay, before somebody responds to CTV, I just want to throw out here that we are about 5 minutes left with this topic, and after that we will switch to the second topic of this panel.
Damn it, 5 minutes left of watching this debate. Let's go.
Does the DEA safety not matter, CTV?
They are enforcing a different type of law. The difference being, right, it's immigration law versus drug enforcement law. I'm sure that when immigration officers go in and there's drugs sitting there, they probably shoot DEA a call. They probably shoot ATF a call if there's weapons there, right? And then
do you think the cartel has it out more for ICE or for the DEA?
But do you think the cartel?
That's actually an interesting question. I would rate it equal now.
I would think it's almost certainly the DEA.
It's certainly the DEA, bro.
But usually DEA operates on foreign soil. They're in their neighborhoods. That's the DEA by a mile.
Was I asked the question? I was asked the question, right? Right, I was asked the question. Okay, cool. So, yeah, repeat the question because it took us a minute to get back control of the room.
Yeah, so after you confirmed that the DEA safety does matter, we were going down that path, and you said, well, they're not doing immigration enforcement. But what do you think the cartel has more of an interest in stopping? ICE, who are just setting people out of the country, or the DEA, who are coming to their country, kicking down their doors and raiding their drug facilities? Who do you think the cartel wants to hurt more?
It's both now.
Well, I think specifically if they have to be able to maintain a network on both
sides. It's a retarded point when Admiral Gibbs is literally agreeing with all the leftists on the panel.
So specifically,
it's a bad point
because that ensures their network on the other side, where it's away from the homeland. So, with that in mind, right? If I'm the cartel, immigration would be the target. Specifically because I would be trying to put fear into people even trying to get involved in the organization, right? Because then if I could do that, then I would stop the recruitment effort, right? But because it's harder for them to be able to, say backdoor sides, in the shadow, affect the families like the cartel likes to operate, right? Because of the mask, it prevents them from being able to do that openly and on a mass scale, which if it was the other way, they would. And that's where it's different from where the different types of law enforcement get involved, because immigration does go further in, right? With a lot more, say, like they're looking for bodies. And that would be the other thing too, is that like if you're trying to ensure your network, you would ensure workers, right? To be able to do things versus material things, right? Because the material things you can move from one place to another, but you can't always get more bodies, right? So I'd be trying to protect workers.
I want to jab to your point though about which is more, I would say until like marijuana took off, it was definitely the DEA. But now I would say immigration is probably equal to them because at least here in South Texas, right? They're not necessarily, ICE isn't doing what they're doing in Minnesota and Texas. They're going after like legitimate businesses that are tied to the cartel. They're taking out the middle management. They're taking out shot callers. And like, I'm just going to admit I know some pretty high up cartel people. I've lived here a long time. And these guys are all fucking out of the country now. They're just out of the country collecting checks while the middle management people are at risk. And yeah, I get that. Like, okay, the idea that, ICE needs to cover their face, protect them. The DEA does wears masks for certain raids too. That's a thing. But like the idea that they are not affected by immigration when immigration has become a bigger moneymaker than marijuana now, I would say it's equal. Because like,
I'm not saying it's unaffected. What I'm saying is DEA has.
When you go DEA,
I get it. This is an irrelevant side tangent.
Yeah, no, it's not because you're talking about with the DEA.
No, stop. Let me tell you why. Even if it is equal, like you're saying, that makes my point. DEA should also be wearing masks then. If ICE has an excuse to wear masks, they don't. They don't. I confirmed it just now. Even when going after dangerous cartel leaders, they have done maskless raids.
They have. Yeah, because they don't need them, bro.
There's also the difference between jail operations and a specified raid.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have warrant for the raids they're doing.
That language
how is that not a much bigger issue?
Having done them, right? That language just means that they've done them.
But they don't broadly. Stop being retarded on purpose, okay? ICE wears masks everywhere they go all the time, even when interfacing with regular American citizens on the street. If you can point out 3 or 4 DEA raids with a mask, that is still not the same thing. And we've never thought that the police needed to do this.
They have an internal memo.
Mindless banter. I'm gonna agree with chat. This is mindless banter. This is like literal slop.
I googled it just now. The AI says
this is a slop debate.
I can give several examples like here locally.
The AI said it. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah,
they do not broadly wear masks going around doing their regular.
As a conservative, I agree. Masks are bad. We shouldn't mask up at all. But like otherwise, I'm on the opposite. But like, yeah, this is a dumb argument. We're arguing really about the mask. Like that's the big thing y'all
Yeah,
talk about.
well,
Yeah, because they
they
should be abolished. That's their whole argument here.
Like, we have real fucking problems here. You want to argue with the guy with the mask?
No, he had more reasons. This was the first of many reasons, and we just got really tied up in it. But Dylan's about to go down the list.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Last
Oh,
thing
I'm
to say
sorry,
on
we
masks,
wasted a lot of time, but
that's
yeah.
perfectly fine. I'm happy that we at least got to the bottom of this thing. One last thing on masks before maybe we can move on. I think we're going to switch topics probably.
Yeah.
I want to respond to what Gibbs said about certain rates. Let's say we accept that in certain rates. For example, let's say we're going to go take out El Mencho. I would be accepting of somebody wanting to mask up so their family, so their children
Bro,
aren't
Dylan's so locked on the foreign policy. He even knows about El Mencho.
literally
Let's
burnt
go.
alive by the most dangerous cartel on the planet. I can accept that. But when you have Customs and Border Patrol doing sweeps through the neighborhood wearing masks, that's a little different because Customs and Border Patrol are now interacting with regular people. I'm not a threat to Customs and Border Patrol. Somebody stops Gibbs on the road, he's not a threat to to the country. If this is high-level terrorists, people who are proven threats, and you're going after them and they've shown that they can go after you, I can understand that. But normalizing the idea that any Joe Schmo cop under any amount of threat or public scrutiny could put on a mask at any point and then hide their identity, like hide their badge number, is that something we're going to start saying too, that's perfectly comfortable, that's perfectly fine? And let me say, when I was interacting with ICE agents, I saw a lot of times I'm turning on the body cam a little too late. So when you have these masks, it also gives you a shield of unaccountability that a lot of people, even if it isn't true and they can still be held accountable, the mask makes them feel unaccountable. It makes them feel like nobody
All
knows what
right.
they're doing.
Time is up for this topic. Thank you all, everybody. We'll do closing statements for this topic. We'll probably give you guys about 1 minute each. But keep in mind, you will have plenty of chances to give a bigger opening statement at the end of this. Thank you. We are going to start the closing statements for whether or not I should be abolished, and we will start with we'll do CTV.
All right. Well, obviously, as I stated to begin with, I wanted to make sure I was here so that the correct opinion was heard. You've heard everyone else argue around all of the things. No one else seemed to be as concerned about the safety of our ICE agents being American citizens whenever they're doing a job where they're rounding up people that are not legal citizens and then not trying to understand the obvious.
I'm just gonna skip the Reynolds and Dylan Burns statements. I'm gonna lie. I don't care.
This is the main thing.
Wait, I'm going to Dylan.
That's where the money should be going if you're going to be training these officers. If you want to get a bunch of new people recruited for any type of immigration enforcement, you don't cut down the training schedule to 42 days before masking them up and saying, good luck, go get them. You would want to make sure that they know what they're doing. You would want to not fire a lot of the senior staff that they did fire and have them train the incoming people.
See you later,
the people who are
Dave.
whistleblowing currently could have been training new agents, but it's getting so rotten to the core. And this is the main thing. The public trust is so shot that you just need to wipe the board and start over.
All right. Thank you, Dylan. Next, we'll do Jeb. You go ahead and go.
Yeah. So we were opening up then. Mark IC demolish. Why not? It's like sort of has the case management.
I know I'm
It
thinking
kind of comes
that.
downstream from this constitutional theory that the president can just use the executive agencies to basically do whatever the fuck he wants to. Like the fact of the matter is that like the majority of the ICE leadership, I don't even blame like the people who are too stupid to be normal cops, like going out and picking up brown people. Like I don't blame the ICE officers in and of themselves. They're getting money and that is what it is. The place that I actually where I actually place the blame is like the lack of accountability that we've had for the like senior ICE leadership. Like the fact that Greg Bovino came out and said that you don't need probable cause for arrest, we need reasonable suspicion. And the Trump administration argument in court against that was that he's stupid, he's not a lawyer, he doesn't know what that means, right? Like the idea is that there's so much like rot in this. There's so much like problems with all of the leadership. I asked about the administrative warrant thing, like the skirting around judicial warrants in order to enter private property. And the response I got was, do you think the masks are illegal? Like the idea is that there's so many like rampant constitutional violations. Again, like reform to the point of non-recognition, I would be able to accept. But right now, all I know is that like a secret police force like this cannot be in the hands of somebody like Donald Trump.
All right. That was exactly a minute. That was insane.
Okay. Okay, y'all. Whoa. Let's go. And I should move to General 2 for this one. Okay, I'm going to bring in Reynald.
No, you go first.
Wait. Give me a sec, guys.
I was Anna here for the whole thing, or?
I didn't.
Yeah,
She was. But I don't even know if she.
I believe she was.
Reynald, can I get on a personal call with you for a second, dude?
Not yet.
Nah, give him like.
I just finished my debate. Okay, give me like 5 minutes.
Anna's not gonna.
Okay. Give me a sec, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna rechat. I'm going to allow people, if they want to. They don't need to. Why did it say I've been like live since like 10? No shit, I had 0 viewers at what, 4? It's retarded. Wait, why is it that? Is that up on screen? Oh no, it went to the start. Okay. Greatest by what metric? True. Let's get some trues in chat. Let's get ones for trues in chat. If you want to debate, y'all, the debate is. My debates are now open. Okay, I'm accepting debates. I think Trump sucks. I think he is destroying the country. I think I'm going to exclusively do debates on ICE tonight because it's relevant with the topic we just talked about. Actually, I might do debates on Trump weaponizing the DOJ against his political opponents and that kind of corruption. We'll see. Thank you for the gifts, by the way, for everybody. While we're here waiting for Renald, I just want to remind everybody that please like the live. I do appreciate it. Please subscribe if you enjoy the content and enjoy what I do, and you enjoy listening to my high-pitched, a little annoying voice, okay? It's the information that counts, okay? It's the information that counts. I don't imagine people going to bed to my voice. Yeah, I really always do appreciate it when people support me. If you are going to send me money, I prefer that you become a member. That's more of a long-term version of support that helps me, especially if you're going to continue to watch my content. I do appreciate everything, everybody, and keep watching. We are taking debates. So I'm going to... Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in chat so that you, Mega, remember, because I know you have short-term memory. It's going to be join Discord in bio to debate. Okay, join Discord in bio to debate. And I'm going to put that in chat. And I'm going to pin that. That is a pinned message, okay? You have no excuse if you want to debate me. You have the option to. Obama literally armed Iran, but y'all love the guy. How did? Really? I'm. By the way, okay, I'm not super familiar with foreign policy. I'm less familiar. Other than Ukraine, I'm not familiar with Obama's foreign policy at all. Give Iran weapons. The claim that President Obama directly gave weapons to Iran is inaccurate. However, the Obama administration did release billions of dollars in frozen Iranian assets. Well, yeah, I knew that. Yeah, he lifted the sanctions in exchange for Iran joining the JCPOA. That was the entire point of it. Or that's the Iran nuclear deal for all of you guys. That's regarded. That is regarded. Oh, I'm here? Okay.
Oh, I was just about to yell on your thing.
So how was that, Reynald?
By the way, Reynald sweep, by the way.
Reynald sweep? I guess.
I have my... Hang on. No, I mean, Reynald sweep as in against Parker for the bracket.
Oh, like you won your debate?
First coalition sweep. Yep.
Like everybody voted against Parker.
Yes.
That's
Including
so
including the peanut gallery, bro. I got Hex's vote.
Was that your first one?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I'm telling you, bro. Parker's just not. He can't retort. He can't
Parker
rhetoric.
did good. Parker did good. I was locked.
You locked?
Yeah, because
what were the topics again?
His was revocation of student visas. Mine was the seditious six. I think I told you there's like different topics that are more well suited for different conversations, and like that was kind of like the Venezuela Iran thing was a really bad example because it's like, what do you want? The invasion of Venezuela? Oh my God, the invasion of Venezuela or the invasion of Venezuela but worse, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing where it's like the main arguments that you can make against the student visas is that it's like chilling effect on free speech, but the seditious six surely has a way bigger chilling effect.
Way bigger chilling effect, like on because it's politicians
on speech. It's like American former active service member politicians. Yeah. It's like all of the theoretically protected classes that you could think of that wouldn't be able to have their speeches or their speech threatened. Donald Trump tried to threaten the speech of.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. What was Parker's argument?
He actually tried to make it an economic argument, and I think he did that because my economic chops aren't as strong.
What was the
but
economic
it was just that we're losing a lot of productivity by removing all of these student visas. Which is true, but it's like true a dichotomy between that or American Civil War. You know, yeah. That was definitely bad faith a little bit. There's one point where I was draining the clock by accusing him of draining the clock.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I feel like you could make a better argument than the economic stuff. I don't know if that was very good.
I think that's the best argument that you could have made against the seditious six, because I think he clocked that he wouldn't be able to win a First Amendment argument. But
I guess
what do you want to call about?
If you're just saying like what is worse, I would just make the argument that like what is like worse just like as of now is the student ramifications, because it like definitely affects more people like currently, and it was like worse. It was
I think that'd be a dog shit argument, but I think that's a dog shit argument if I'm being honest. But that's fine.
Just gotta rhetoric your way through that one a little bit.
What do you want to call about?
Huh? Okay, yeah, what do you think? I only watched the part about the ICE, and by I mean the part about ICE, I mean I watched the part about masks.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I'm sure you saw the point where I was trying to divert onto the.
I saw that it was the most retarded shit I've ever seen. It's like,
onto the
so how do you feel? Yeah, so like when ICE is going,
masks?
Yeah. So, is he being purposely dishonest? Like, does he?
No.
I need to turn my game down.
I don't think Jake is capable of being purposely dishonest. I don't want to be mean, but
okay. I almost feel like he's like he like knows that he's gonna lose on like every other point. Like if they got into the Fourth Amendment stuff, it's just gonna be like over for them, and so they have to stick on.
No,
these,
I don't think so, because he
topics will
pretty convincingly lost on the masks too. Like I think the part where he said like, oh well, if they don't wear masks, then they're gonna have like the facility shut up, and it's like, well, they had the facility shut up while wearing the mask. What do you think the masks were gonna do? I don't think it was like a strategic thing. I think he was just you know, it's very possible they just wasn't tracking my question too.
Did the mask government turn to a 2v6?
Basically, yeah. The
Even
whole panel was a 2v6.
Even on the amnesty thing. Retarded. It was
even on the amnesty thing, Gibbs and Jebtan both gave ground like immediately, so we kind of just moved right past the amnesty thing. But like the whole thing was a 2v6.
That was a slop. That was some proper slop debate right there.
It was. But I think I got like a couple clips.
It wasn't much better than It wasn't.
Not much better than TikTok. I would like a future conversation with Jebtan potentially. I think he viewed me as like one of the good ones because like Alec was being retarded and the other guy, yeah, he seemed fine. But yeah, it seems like me and Dylan were the only ones that left a door open for reform, which I think you know, helped our good graces.
Makes sense.
Which there certainly does have to be room for reform. I think that's
something that just needs to happen. Yeah. I don't know. And my overall impression of the debate was, I lost interest once the entire thing became about the mask stuff, and also I kind of came there to watch you, and you literally didn't talk during that, and I don't even blame you because it was such slop.
I did not give a fuck about the mask thing. I pushed back against the CBP shooting thing, but the amnesty argument was a lot more frustrating because it was the biggest problem is that the propositions I prepped for, we just kind of walked off immediately in both cases. So it was definitely frustrating. The sedition or the amnesty one was particularly frustrating because it was either they would not live in a counterfactual, so they'd point out problems with illegal immigration and pin it on the left as if we don't want amnesty. or they would basically like move past any amnesty proposition to go on like what we need to do to reinforce the border. I was like, oh, it was so fucking stupid, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Like it was two almost immediate concessions on like 90% of the things.
I can't. One of the things I noticed was like, who's the other guy? His claim was like unfalsifiable. It felt like, right? Because it felt like ICE is gonna do these like. I feel like they almost just implicitly concede the Fourth Amendment violations by never addressing it, right? People are going on protests. That's gonna lead to some amount of harassment. That harassment is gonna justify in his eyes ICE like going around unmasked and like not revealing like any kind of like identification that they're ICE agents, and then just like because of that, people go on protest. I feel like it was just like unfalsifiable claim. Like no matter what happened, ICE should just always be justified in like wearing masks.
Well, there was the question I was going to ask him, but I kept getting cut off. Was like, if you're going to draw a comparison between the anti-ICE protest and BLM, and you think it's justified for ICE to wear masks, do you think it's justified for like local police officers to wear masks in BLM? Because like that's fucking insane. But
Yeah.
you know,
But who's the ginger guy again?
Alec Gunter, I think his name
You
was.
conceded the Antifa thing. Antifa black bloc is so fucking cringe. I don't like the
what?
The black bloc.
What is that?
That's what it's called. Like when everybody, like the Antifa people, they like all wear black and they have like masks and stuff. It's called black bloc. You wouldn't know that because you're a disgusting, slimy liberal, but I'll teach you.
Yeah, that guy was a pretty stereotypical leftist person, so. No, I don't know. It just kind of is what it is. I liked Kazim a lot more than I expected to, so I'm happy about that. But
Dylan was good as always.
Dylan is good as always. I disagreed with some of his stuff about reinforcing the border or whatever, but it was like a pretty minimal disagreement thing. In general, Dylan was good.
Oh my gosh. The leftist guy, I keep forgetting, so irrelevant. Irrelevant to me that I keep forgetting his name. Alec, yeah. At the very start of the debate, when Admiral Gibson like brought up the biggest red herring ever, that was so irrelevant with the Langford bill stuff. Immediately bit it.
Well, it's also like what was his opening statement for the ICE thing, where I was like, I don't care about facts and statistics. I'm just gonna tell you what I've seen. It was like, oh my god, no.
No.
Which I prepped knowing that was gonna happen, so it just kind of what it was. But I was like, oh my god.
Oh, one thing I don't really need to do this. This isn't my tactic. This is something it was the other guy, like Polex or whatever, he's in the Discord, asked during the Millie debate. When people ask, like, will point out, like, this is a policy of ICE, and ask, well, how many times has it happened? Like, I just asked the question, if, like, Joe Biden implemented, like, a policy where it's like, okay, let's sign an executive order, like, fuck free speech, round up all ICE agents, whatever. I put out, you saw that video, right?
That's a fine argument.
Would a valid response to that be, well, how many times has it happened?
How many times, yeah.
Like,
that's a fine argument, but the problem is that it just didn't, like, none of the engagement on the administrative warrant thing even went that deep. I do think that they did know not to touch that topic. But yeah, I don't know, man. Because that topic got brought up by me, Kazim, and Dylan multiple times, and there was like literally no engagement.
Like, I don't think I heard anybody address it. Not even in opening statements did he address any of the. It generally felt like they were like, I'm just like when Admiral Gibbs said at the start, ICE is going out and doing like the hard stuff or like doing what. It just felt like that was saying ICE is willing to violate the Constitution, and that's the thing that no other president is willing to do, and that's based.
Well, there was a part where Jake said that like, oh, encounters are low because ICE is enforcing the law. I was like, are they really enforcing the law though? Like, it seems like they're violating the Constitution a fuck ton. And he's like, yeah, that's he was like, yeah, that deters people. I'm like, yeah, that's not, we shouldn't be deterring people by violating the Constitution. And then he like laughed that off.
Enforce the law by violating the law.
Yeah, I sent Jake a message saying that we should 1v1 at some point because I think that'd be fun. But
I don't watch that. Okay.
Your comments are flaming you for not reading the comments, by the way.
I don't give a fuck. They're retarded anyways.
True.
Unironically, I'm just not. I just don't want to talk to you guys. Like, what? Wait, I'm gonna read one comment. Let's hear this. Brent Cruda. Okay. Brent crude is 170 right now. $20 raised today. Do you understand what that is? Who the fuck is talking about oil? Congratulations.
Well, what about Ozzy said if he's reading comments, hi Ozzy. You gotta be nice to the people that are nice to you, bro.
True. Now I will be nice to the sad dude. Okay, he needs to go to bed. It's like 11:45. I know. The majority of my audience is 65 plus, simple majority. So I'm gonna be nice to you and give you a permanent timeout for us with live.
Bro, I have such a fucking splitting headache after that debate too, and then debating Parker. Oh my god, bro.
Like an actual
debate
headache?
overload. Yes, dude. I've got a migraine.
I have a slight thumping from watching a debate. Okay, it's not that bad.
Yeah, imagine being there.
Okay,
you
should be the one reacting more.
I know. Everybody in my comments was telling me to jump in more, but no, I'm not gonna put myself in bad lights with all these people by steamrolling the entire panel. It's just not.
I would.
I know that
if I was in your position, I would have legit steamrolled them into engaging in the Fourth Amendment shit.
If that doesn't get you reinvited on the panels, that's the problem. Is that'll get Destiny reinvited onto panels. If you're a nobody, then it's gonna make everybody hate you, bro.
But I'll get the clips.
I'll do that when I have a little more. I'll do that if I have a bigger dick to throw around.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I care much about if I can get one Admiral Gibbs debate where I destroy him. I don't know if I care how much to talk to him again.
Dude, Gibbs is a good connection. I wouldn't underestimate that.
Look, I already have the all relevant connection. Okay, I don't need.
Gibbs might be better connected. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really?
Irrelevant, I think, is pretty well connected, but Gibbs hosts panels, bro.
Oh, okay. I guess. I know. Does YouTube do this to your camera too? It desaturates it from OBS.
Potentially. I don't know. I actually don't know.
I'm looking at my OBS right now. I'm looking at my YouTube on my phone, and I'm definitely the entire thing is slightly desaturated.
It's possible. Okay, I'm going to bed, buddy.
Okay,
I love
have a
you.
good night.
I'm gonna put a warm rag over my face, and I'm just gonna relax. All right, I love you, buddy.
I love you, dude.
Thanks for watching my stuff.
I'll see you, bro. Okay. Retard and retardettes in the comments. What is up? I need all of you to request up if you want to debate. Okay, we're going to be taking a couple debates here before we end the live stream. And I go and edit videos or do whatever the fuck I want. I need all of you guys in chat. If you want to debate, you can. You need to join the Discord in the bio. It says it in the pinned comment. You need to click on my profile picture. Okay. You need to click on the bio. Right? Once you get to my channel, and you're going to see a couple links, and one of them is Discord, and you're going to go click on the Discord link. What's up, bro? You'll be deceived. Thank you all and goodbye from New Zealand. Oh my god. Y'all watch the State of the Union about U.S. citizens versus illegals, and y'all said condemning ICE? Okay. So cool, bro. You're soft. Get a call-in number? No. What's up, Cringy?
Or what are you talking to Reynold about, buddy?
His debate.
Oh, what the rhetoric or what?
Hmm? No, there wasn't much to talk about rhetoric. The entire thing was slop.
Oh, the Renell Parker debate?
No.
Oh,
It's actual
no,
debate.
no.
Yeah.
Oh. Like, what did you have? What questions did you have that were so interesting that you need answered?
Hmm? I was just
What
going over the
questions
debate with him.
Oh, yeah. Aren't you doing a video of that? Or are you live right now?
Yeah, I am. It's almost like
Base.
that's the reason I'm. My fucking god. Real talk shows have call numbers. Stop being cheap. You're a boomer. You are old and you do not know how to click 3 links to join a Discord. Holy shit. So many grams in my chat. Guys, calm down. Can you defend your claims? Yes, I can. Now debate me. What's up, Highfather?
You said you're looking for debates. I got you, buddy.
Okay. What do you want to debate about?
So I'd like to present the argument as to why your mother is a preferential sexual candidate.
Okay. Calm down, look up. You don't want your
I don't think
father
you're gonna
coming
get
in
any.
and hearing you say that. I get a little mad.
Oh, are you live? Whoops.
I am live. I'm only live on YouTube. It doesn't matter.
Oh well. I don't think you're getting any debates. I don't think anyone's there.
I don't know. I have like 28 people in here. Master debaters.
Okay. Well. That was the only joke I
You're
had.
not gonna get anybody. You're right. They're all literally just complaining. You've all been deceived. Repent and turn to Lord. Yesha. I'm not complaining because I'm a good. Go watch Parker. Google it. Just like, subscribe. Some shit like that. Y'all have a good night. Gosh.